If it's a party, you know it's slide.
Yes, go, baby. Home team. This your boy Blackberry Loretz. This is the Rich Pit. Come on in, get your seats, and be ready to get entertained. I'm Blackberry Loretz. That right there, that's the big dog, Big Ant.
What's happening?
Right there, that right down there, right there, that down there, right there, right there, right there, right down there, right there. That's my brother, my blood brother from the same mother. Denzel, a.k.a. Smiley, a.k.a. Do It, a.k.a. Bonkers, a.k.a. And you are tuned in to the Rex Pit, baby. Let's go ahead and get this thing kick started. Y'all know what time it is. Let's make it do what it do. Home team. Home team. Home team. Some of y'all got some explaining to do.
We'll see. You got some explaining to do.
Got some explaining to do.
Some of y'all got some explaining to do. All right. If you don't know already, let me be the one to spoil the fun for you. Ain't gonna be no Lamar Jackson in Atlanta.
No.
Unless
No.
unless it's around a stripper stage, throwing some money.
No.
Or at a soul food joint, getting something to eat. Or in Buckhead, tap dancing on the corner for a little change, doing something strange.
Well, he ain't gonna get that far with it now. He ain't out there Sean Kemp. He ain't Sean Kemp now. He ain't Sean Kemp now.
Sean Kemp. When Sean Kemp was tap dancing on the corner for some money?
He wasn't tap dancing. He was shooting up the corner.
Oh my God, damn. That's right. I forgot about that. Oh Lord.
Titty bang bang. Choo choo train.
Lord Jesus. Okay.
That boy, grant that bottle.
But home team, y'all know what time it is. We gonna jump right into some topics. Let me tell y'all what we got to talk about today. So we got to talk about the Hawks closing out a victory in Washington against Washington in DC. We got to talk about some draft. We got to talk about some Falcons. We got to talk about some prospects. We even got to talk about, yes, Lamar Jackson. But we ain't talking about Lamar Jackson for y'all. We talking about Lamar Jackson because y'all just nauseating as hell with this Lamar Jackson shit. So we got to hurt some feelings tonight. But it ain't just him. Y'all want, since he ain't available, now y'all want Anthony Richardson. But you ignore the fact he can't throw the ball worth now. Then some of y'all talking about going and getting Justin Fields. I don't know. I can't explain it, but we gonna get into it. But before we get into the juicy stuff, Denzel, go ahead and make do what it do, bro. Let's get into the first.
Well, there's always shine when there's a W in the win column. And lately, we ain't been having too much of that. But we had one last night. And last time we seen Washington, Bradley Beal did Bradley Beal things. And he beat us. It was a one-man wrecking crew. It was like Undertaker raising from the grave. And choke slamming all of us through it. But we got our retribution back. JJ came off the bench, 10 points. Just pulverized. What his name? Denny Aljon. I ain't finna butcher his name. Everybody know what I'm talking about. You seen the picture, the close up, where JJ just went straight to it and went yam yunkers on in the paint, baby. Yam yunkers.
He's on a poster. He's on a poster now.
He on the poster.
He's on a poster.
Put him on a poster. But yeah, Trey did Trey things. Now we can see the impact that Mr. Snyder has had on Trey, if not over our defense already. You seen it. You seen it because this boy Trey, $125, looking like Steph Curry when he was 16. Oh boy, he's looking like a true freshman in a sophomore uniform in high school. The boy was everywhere. He ran around the court just like Steph. I mean, we all just need to give a big round of applause right now for the defense. This boy, this premature child, point guard, had played last night.
Bro, why you gotta do all that though?
Because he's so small.
Okay, we know that. God
so
damn.
Small.
God damn. We
Got
know that.
So small.
premature child. What the hell?
But the boy paid his ass off. Hey, clap it up for Trey defense, for the whole team. Like I said, JJ, I'm proud of it. That was who I'm most proud of because he took advantage of the time that Snyder said him and AJ would be swapping through. And you ain't seen AJ in a minute, but he said he in a slump. We'll see how true that is when he get his time to shine. But JJ took advantage of it. Everybody played pretty good, except for, we could all say, somebody did like a half and half. They showed up one half, disappeared the other half. I think we all know who I'm talking about. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you anyway. The Baptist himself. He was in a baptism that second half. I tell you that. He went to a church because he was not there.
They baptized his ass last night at that second half.
Baptized his own damn self.
Kuzma had a day on that Sunday, boy.
Day, boy.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get
Go
into it.
Hey,
Okay,
take turns. Who next?
bruh.
Go ahead,
Okay, I'm breaking it down for y'all. Porzingis had 43. Kuzma had 25. Bill had 24. Now, with that said, everybody else combined had 28 points. Interesting. Hold on. Wasn't that one of my keys to another game? I'm just let the stars go ahead and go off, and then don't let everybody else. Does this sound familiar? I'm like, oh,
Sounding real familiar.
Sounds very similar to a
Feel like I done read this book before.
Dr. Seuss 1 foot 2-foot redfish bluefish.
Give me some green eggs and ham.
I will not eat them in a boat.
My bacon is mighty fine.
Ooh. But okay, let's move on to our folks. Now, me and Blackberry was talking about this before we came on. How in the hell, if you're a power forward, how do you allow Bogey to out rebound you?
What? I didn't read that stat.
Come on,
Bogey had 8 rebounds. John only had 5.
oh Lord, oh boy.
And
He not even getting his average no more. Ant.
no,
His average was 7. He ain't even
7.
getting that no more.
No more. That's gonna plummet by the end of the season.
Look like it.
Hell, that's around the corner.
Exactly.
In 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Shoot, what?
So okay, I'm gonna say this because I will agree. I had high hopes for him. I was on the fence for him. I was backing him. I'll admit it. But I will say this offseason, there will be some big changes. And we're gonna bite the damn bullet on his punk ass.
Since we talking about biting bullets now,
Bite the bullet.
that's a bullet need to be bit.
That
Dragonfly
bullet.
Jones.
Chewed on.
Took a bite out of crime on that bullet.
Drag.
Like one of them feisty ass Taco Bell dogs.
Yeah, that damn chihuahua. The better taco patty. Hey, that bullet from 1955, that bullet gonna rust in your mouth.
So check this out. DeAndre Hunter, 1 rebound. In
Oh,
30
Lord, I
minutes.
forgot about him. Oh, Lord.
John Collins, 5 rebounds in 29 minutes. Clint Capella, 3 rebounds in 25 minutes.
3 rebounds.
DeJounte Murray, 4 rebounds in 39 minutes. Trae Young, 4 rebounds in 33 minutes. Bojan Bogdanovic had fewer minutes than the entire starting 5, of course, and had 8 rebounds. And still managed to get 5 assists and 14 points. 3 rebounds from Bay, 4 from Okongwu, 4 from Jalen Johnson. I don't know what happened in the rebound department. I don't know. That's just weird, bro. Even Clint, I don't know what was going on, bro. But hey, pulled out a victory.
I got you right here, Blackberry.
But wait, there's more.
Total rebounds. We had 36. They had 39. Offensive rebounds. We had 8. They had 6.
Got him now.
We were doing our thing on defense, but
Doing our thing on defense. Oh yeah. We won the turnover battle. We won it. We had more steals.
Yep.
We had more blocks. Had 5 blocks. But this the one right here for me. 17 fouls to their 16.
Yep.
And somehow Trae only go to the line 2 times in the whole game.
2 times.
in the fourth quarter.
Into the game.
Somebody gotta explain this shit to me.
They gotta stop this shit.
But it's real interesting that Fred Van Fleet, what your name, boy? Fred Van Vliet. There it is. I had to get the other V out.
Yeah.
Van Vliet decided to recognize the poor officiating in the NBA in his press conference. He said he don't care. He'll take the fine, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a healthy one because, that boy was unfiltered. Okay.
Call them some bitches.
But he didn't just speak in general. He even called out a name. He calling out names of refs.
Nah, time put name to him.
I'm coming for you.
Fred say we gonna put some stamps on these receipts. We gonna put some stamps on them. Okay.
Yeah, well, we should.
So you know what? It's a glaring problem in the NBA right now with the officiating. It ain't just the Hawks. I don't want people to think, oh, we making excuses for the Hawks. No, you got a player from a whole nother team taking one for the team. He took one for the team. He didn't just take one for Toronto. He took one for everybody in the league. And he said it himself for everybody to hear, for everybody to see. And I'm paraphrasing. The officiating has been butt cheeks this season. Fans do not pay to come see referees kill games.
Nope.
They not making calls. They making terrible calls. When they should make a call, they swallow the whistle. There's something that needs to be addressed with the officiating in the NBA. It ain't just us. It ain't just the Hawks. But the reason why it hurts us, the way it hurts us with the bad officiating, is because we know we got the Trae Young personality here in Atlanta. We know he done rubbed some of them the wrong way. DeAndre Hunter developed a reputation for having solid perimeter defense, and it's like they said, "Dog, we can't have somebody playing defense that damn well. He got to be fouling, right? Let's nip that in the bud now." Anyway, we ain't gonna stay on Hawk stuff long because we got this. I mean, we gonna breeze through the Hawk stuff, but this Jalen Johnson emerging, Denzel, you got something else you want to put on that?
Yeah, man. I just feel like multiple fans have been cramming for him to get more opportunity. With PT comes experience, comes a light shining on the talent. We seen it. If you watched when he was with the G League, if you watched both years, he showed his butt. Wait, I think he was only with the first year. I don't think he was with the second year. But he showed his butt when Sharif was there. And y'all can correct me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed his butt. So, and it was consistent showing his butt. Now, I ain't saying G League that's G League. I understood. It's Summer League and G League. But, I mean, come on now. Come on. You can see the boy was a man amongst boys in some occasions. And for one, he got the shot better than his shot is better than
people give him credit for.
Yeah, and the Baptist. Better than his too. I I ain't gonna say nothing on the PEDs that maybe John needed those, like Big Papa Pump needed what he needed, but
The big bad booty daddy. Holler if you hear me.
Speaking of which, he was at the Hawks game last week.
You
When we
still
played
alive?
Portland. Big Papa Pump, yeah. His son played ball in somewhere in Atlanta or Georgia.
Damn, I thought them Royals would have been got his ass. All right, that what's up.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's small. He like my size now. But
Bad booty daddy.
hey, but
Hey, Big Papa Pump. Hey, bro. He convinced Stacey Keebler to get down. So you my guy. You my guy, Big Papa Pump. You my guy. Just saying. You had Stacey out there. You had her out there, boy.
Hey, he used that.
He had Stacey out there.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to mention about that. He emerging. You see them 3 selections, the 3 shot selections. I mean, the boy is gonna be good. The boy gonna be him and AJ. Give it 2 years. 2 years before you start seeing it manifest. But that's it. On to the big Daddy Kane combo of them all tonight. This is what you all been. What you been waiting for? The Diddy and the Gritty.
We had to get the small talk out the way first.
Get it out the way. Got to put your teeth up to the on TV like Chris Rock. Get it out the way.
We going. Hey, bro, don't talk. Hey, we can talk a little. We can talk about Chris Rock at the end of the show, bro. Okay, because I did. We can talk about Chris at the end of the show, but let's start him off light. Kaleb McGary with no tag. Will he be resigned before free agency starts? Now, free agency starts on Monday, I think.
Illegal tampering technically starts on Monday.
Yeah,
Legal tampering?
Yeah, legal tampering starts on Monday.
Yeah, illegal already happening.
Yeah.
Illegal tampering started happening before the season started last year.
What you gonna do?
Aaron Rodgers been illegally tampering for the last 4-5 years. But no tag on Kaleb McGary. And what do you do, my guy? What do you do with Kaleb McGary?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't think we're gonna sign him, to be honest. I think he's gone.
You think he out of here?
I think that price tag gonna be too high.
What you think he won't? What you think he won't? If his franchise tag was gonna be 18, if they would have tagged him, what do you think he wants? Because think about like
you see where I'm going, Denzel. Stop it.
How much you want?
Now look, think about this. You go interview for a job, right? Let's say you're a contractor. You go to interview for not necessarily interview, but you go to try to get contracted on for a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you, okay, we'll give you this job first, see how you do. If we like your work, we'll call you back, put you on the account or something like that. And they tell you that first job pays $18 million. It pays $18,000. Let's say it pays $18,000. You do a well enough job for them to at least consider bringing you back. Now, if you didn't do good enough, you wouldn't even get considered, right?
That's true.
You go, they actually call you back to come do another job. They tell you, all right, we're going to contract you to do this amount of work in this amount of time. We'll pay you $16,000 per job for the next 12 months. But you looking like, hold on. But then you just pay me 18 to do that one? So you want me to take less to do more. So, Ant, how much do you think if his tag would have been 18, how much do you think he wants to get?
Oh, he wants over 20.
Woo!
If you see how he run block that whole season, he wants over
his ass off.
He wants over 20. You can believe that. But guess what?
He ain't gonna get it. Not from what?
TD ain't here no more. We don't do that stupid shit. And I can go in the draft and give me a couple of call it a day.
Now let me ask you this though. Salary cap go up next year, right? About 25 mil.
That's true.
Next off season, go up about 25 mil. So let me ask you this. Let's say they say, okay, you want a contract that averages you getting 20 mil a year. Let's do this. We'll give you a 4-year deal for 80 mil. We'll pay you 20 mil this year. But up until that last contract year, we'll pay you we'll drop it down to 15 a year, and we'll pay you the remainder on the last year in a bonus. Or give them some of it in a sign-in bonus, on a sign-on bonus, and make up the difference in the last year. Would you do that? You think he'll take that?
No. No.
But you not paying them 20 a year though.
No.
But you not paying them 20 a year.
No mean no.
You paying them 80, but you not
what the
paying
man
them
just
20 a
said.
year.
No mean no. Look, this man did all his efforts, put all his heart and grind and hustle and loyalty and respect like John Cena into his run blocking. And he said, to hell with pass blocking. To hell. We need you to do both. We are what was that stat? We ran the ball more, our ratio of running and passing, we ran more run plays than anybody in the league. You know how terrible that is? You can't win. I said this once again. I'm going to have a segment called Denzel Damnedest Thoughts. And it's just going to be going back to what I said last year. It's not sustainable. If I know, even though you tell me that you're going to run it and you do it, I can pass it and go up and down the field fast, like faster, slower, tire your defense out if I want to, and I'm going to score because I'm going to pass it on your suspect defense. Faster, I know I'm a score. I know I'm a score.
But Denzel, what I don't understand from that. What's up with you, Noah? Where you go?
He playing peekaboo.
Go ahead.
What's up with you, Noah?
Not too
Long
bad.
time no see, my guy.
I know. You guys can take a look at how long it's been because my hair is about to go a second story tall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's never like that.
You got a little Pablo Escobar dude going on.
You're going the opposite way, Noah.
Oh my goodness! All right.
But Denzel, let me tell you what I don't understand from what you're saying. Let me tell you what I don't understand. You can't deny that he was better in run blocking than 90% of right tackles in the league this year.
No, I can't deny that. You're right.
That's undeniable. We saw him obliterate defenses in the run game. We saw him do that.
Okay.
He didn't give up a lot of sacks.
No.
In pass protection.
Mainly because you had somebody running RPO.
He didn't give up a lot of sacks in pass protection. It doesn't matter what offense we were running.
The quarterback
he didn't give up a lot of sacks. It don't matter. Would it matter what offense we was running? He didn't give up a lot of sacks. Okay, I get it.
We ain't paying no top dollar for somebody to do half their job. You don't see nobody. I give you $100,000 to do half. Give me half of the sentencing. I just want to. They told me 10 years, but I just take 5.
I don't have.
You can't give me down to 5. I give you $100,000, lawyer.
I don't have a problem with saying he's not worth $20 million. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I don't want to pay him $20 million a year. I would let him walk, but I can't let fans undermine what he was actually doing in this past season. He was not bad in pass protection, and he was better. He was better than 90% of the league in run blocking.
He was half decent at pass protection. He wasn't good.
Bro, he did his job better than 90% of the damn league.
In one phase.
There's no doubt. What phase is most important on our offense? What's the most important
phases? Not just pass.
What is the most important thing we do on our offense, Denzel?
Look, we run, but we can't keep doing that.
No. We run. What you mean we can't keep doing it?
That can't be the bread. That's the bread and butter. But damn it, when are we gonna be able to put fear in somebody's heart that we gonna pass? They don't fit that. They'll put 7 in the box.
What you got, Noah? What you got?
Come on, Noah.
Just looked at something real quick from Sports Info Solutions, the SIS Data Hub. Our passing snaps this last year, it's counting like from McGary's rookie year from 2019 all the way down to current year. Our passing snaps gradually got lower. In 2019, we were passing the ball 670 times. Last year, 488.
That's a significant
running the ball, right? In 2019, we started off 313 rushing attempts. 2022, 513. We are a run first team. We're almost a run second team. So you need to get people that specializes in running the ball first, pass and protect second. And here's the thing. PFF also said that we were 6th out of the entire league in time allowed in the pocket for a quarterback. Our over the cap status was saying that we are spending in positional rankings the 6th most on our offensive line right now. Only behind teams like the Baltimore Ravens, the Eagles, the Aints, and all that kind of stuff. So we got a high-quality line that we're spending high-quality money for. We can keep that trend, or we can try to abandon it and go for a riskier option.
Much riskier.
And say, well, here's the thing, right? Because you were saying now he blocks better than 90% of the right tackles in the NFL. That is true. The other thing you can kind of say is, well, here's the thing. How much longer are you expecting him to be on the team because he's 28 years old? How much do you want to give him as far as like the amount of years you have for him? You want to give him a 4-year deal, 5-year deal? He'll be like 32, 33 years old at that time. Like, he's going to show signs of aging. But as right now, I can understand why you would want to get rid of him and go for younger talent. At the same time, I'd also say, like, hey, we're seeing him in his prime. This is the best we've seen of him.
Mhm.
And the best we've seen of him ain't easily replaceable.
It's a
There's
shot
got to be
in
a
the
way
dark.
around it.
It's not
shot in the
easily-
dark.
It's not easily replaceable. True. But when you have younger talent that's coming in the draft, I ain't saying get rid of them. I personally say put them in the left guard. I said put them in the left guard. John Chucker on
They're kind of
92.
doing the Jalen Mayfield treatment right there.
Well, they get paid less, but it technically it'll be in the price range that's fitted for him. It'll be in the price range that's fitted for him. I mean, you throw him some incentives and then increase that to the point of where, look, you do this, you back at what almost the average is, not the average for, right tackle with incentives, bonuses, such like that. Now, John Chuckery on 92.9, I had to reference him, said on draft night, his analysis was that he would fit better in the NFL as a guard because of his footwork. His footwork is not, his first step isn't quick. A tackle's first step needs to be quick. You know who first step is quick that's coming in this draft? Mr. Paris Johnson, as well as, what's the other one named? Strzokowski?
Oh, Peter Skronsky or something?
Yeah, yeah, him. It sounds like he got a hockey name. But his first step is nice. It's fast. But I ain't saying get rid of him. I like it. You with the run first and second and third team that we are or was, we can keep that, but the passing game has to be a threat. And with Ritter, to gain his confidence, he gonna need to pass, and not just 18 times at max 22 times a game. Nah, you can't beat.
Right, but I also say that Arthur Smith this past season was playing to the strengths of who he had on the roster.
Right.
He had no choice. He was playing with scrubs.
But there was a couple gems in those scrubs, right?
Yes.
Few gems.
5th round draft pick, Tyler Algier. Been telling y'all about him since last year. All right, that guy wasn't no scrub.
It was a handful.
That ain't no scrub.
It was a handful of gems, bruh.
If it wasn't for Caleb Huntley getting hurt, like he'd be another scrub that we just scraped off from the practice squad.
Yep.
We were signing all sorts of positional players in every single facet of our team. And while some of them were hits, some of them were misses, the ones that missed, we had rookies show out in those categories. So that was last couple of years, we didn't have the money that we do now. And now we just got behind over the biggest hurdle that we had in the offseason of talking about Lamar Jackson in the quarterback position, which I think we'll get to further. But
yeah, it's next.
We've seen how Terry Fontenot likes to build the team, and he likes to have it complete. He likes to make sure that, hey, we're not getting scrubs here, but then stars over here, because that was too top end, and that's what had us topple over in the Dimitrov era. We kept spending all of our top guys all the money, but then we had no depth when they had to leave the field. Now we're trying to get in those positions where even if a Kyle Pitts goes down, we can have someone like Michael Pruitt to contribute.
Mm-hmm. Now that was the gym. I forgot about him.
If Kaleb McGary goes down, we can always have someone else right behind him to contribute, right? Whether that be Chuma, who was another kind of swing tackle that also played guard for us a little bit. We had freaking Drew Dahlman and Matt Hennessy playing left guard for us at one point too, and they're centers. Like their body just screams, "Hey, I'm a center." But
and it's on that.
They are centers all the way, bro.
All the way.
And that was iffy at times. But you on lockdown with this type of money, like you mentioned, you on lockdown for sure. Top-notch talent. You don't want no what ifs or no average. We ain't looking for average. Average is out the window. Truma, average. No, we want lockdown. We want 2016 type of line. I ain't gonna say we're gonna get the same because that was 1 in a million. That line played together the whole season. But
right tackle that year was Ryan Schrader.
They still was he or was he not MVP? Was Matty Ice not MVP with Ryan Schrader as your right tackle and Alex Mack in the center? And what was the other guy named Mud Duck or something like that? The nickname.
He retired, but that was the left guard and right guard. That was Chris Chester and
Adam Levitri. But that line was locked down as a cohesive unit. I ain't saying, like I said, I don't want to get rid of McGary, but if you can get him for a right price, like this is kind of a segue to the next topic.
Okay.
If you can get Lamar at the right price, I'm pretty sure nobody would have a problem with that. But the right price, he ain't getting 250, nowhere near guaranteed.
And losing a couple first round draft picks.
And that part.
That is the big one right there. I'm not giving up number 8.
And it's mostly going to be guaranteed because that's how quarterback contracts are going for.
Bingo.
And they can also match.
And if he doesn't pan out, then people are going to start blaming Arthur Smith, and then you're going to have to find a new coach.
Yep. And then Terry going to be on the chopping block next.
Yep.
And
then you're still stuck with Lamar Jackson for another couple, 3 or 4 years.
And then you still have Desmond. Now it's going to go full circle around. Well, you had the chance to see what he was about before you spent this money. Were you finna see what he was about? Now that you have spent the money.
Careful what you wish for.
All right. And you want to say something on this McGary front?
I mean, what Ghost Peppers had put, that would be right in the perfect world. Now, I would sign him if that was the case. But that ain't happening because I don't think that they're going. I don't think it's going to bottom out like that.
Yeah, that's low.
He gonna wait. He gonna want way more than 13 mil.
Hell yeah, without doubt.
You gotta be looking at minimum 16.
I was thinking 16. Yeah. I was thinking if he was okay with taking 16, I'm cool all for it. I'm giving them that money no matter what. 3 years.
Spot Rack is estimating his market value to be like 17.5.
Now, see, I do that.
I
will incentivize that. I will incentivize.
That's still not even top dollar. That's Ryan Ramczyk money. That's at the top.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, so and listen, Izelle, you know I love you.
Yep, it's gonna be some bullshit.
You know I love you, but there was nothing average about what Kaleb McGary was doing this past season, bro.
I didn't mention him being average. I mentioned too much.
You not paying for average play. Top
his was above average it was excellent in run blocking. You keep focusing on half the damn game plan.
He only gave up 6 sacks, bro, and over 1,000 snaps.
Pressures. You look at the whole aspect. Pressures. They was disciplined. The whole line was disciplined, except for when Jalen got in there and did whatever Jalen does.
The majority of the pressure on our quarterbacks, whether it was Desmond, whether it was Mariota, it came up the middle. The majority of the pressure came up the middle between the center and the guard. More to be more specific, the left guard and the center. That's where the majority of our pressure came from.
Speaking of which, Mariota didn't have that kind of pocket awareness we were hoping for.
Nope.
I didn't hope for. I don't know who hoped. Why?
He didn't have any kind of awareness that was
None.
open.
Those rings like that.
Zero.
He wouldn't even throw the damn ball. But I feel like I done went too long without introducing one of my OGs. Coach Unchained, the coach of coaches. What's going on, Coach?
I just made it home.
Oh, long time no see.
I just
good to see you,
made
man.
it home. Man, been working.
You got Coach Kaleb
Yes, sir.
McGary, no tag. What you doing with him?
Oh man. Me personally, I would re-sign him. That's just personally. However, like I think he was talking about Mayfield. Mayfield's still there, man. He's still there.
What that supposed to mean, Coach?
He's a natural right guard, man. That's his natural position.
You mean right tackle? Right tackle.
Yeah, right tackle. Yeah, he's a right tackle. That's his natural position. So you have that. What was the way? He was drafted where he was like second, third round pick.
Second.
Yeah, so they seen something there. Like I said, the reason he played their first year is because hey, they need somebody to step in. And he was there.
Yeah, that's a big no for me. Big no for me.
Now, if they don't put him there, they're gonna probably draft somebody.
Which they should.
Yeah, but in what round?
It depends on how to. You can't know what we're gonna go, how we're gonna do in this draft until after free agency. So you'll be able to, if we get a Hargrave on a defensive line, you know we probably gonna go edge rusher probably second round.
So you going first round.
Offensive line. Or corner.
You would go offensive line in the first round. Okay.
I would say this though: in the last 2 years, I think it's been pretty tough to predict what our top pick in the draft was. Whether we were at 4, whether we were at 8, we would still get in those quarterback conversations like we are now. But to a certain extent, we had a couple of other options available. The thing is about the free agency, right? If you don't address that kind of position when you don't sign Kaleb McGary, now every other team in the league knows what you're going to pick. That makes you obvious. And we, like Terry and Arthur and every Arthur involved, they don't like being obvious to other teams.
Every author
So,
okay, I got another question here. Well, not a question, but to say, okay, how do we don't know that they already have a deal in place? They just haven't put it out there yet.
A deal with who?
very well could
With Kaleb.
with McGary.
It's just like people see. Y'all gotta look at it also.
Lorenzo Carter.
Think about Lorenzo Carter. He was not. Y'all gotta. He wasn't released. Y'all gotta realize they voided his contract because they had to pay him They had to pay him $1 million if he was on the team
Released.
on the team or not. So his contract was voided. They never said release. They said voided.
Voided. Mm-hmm.
So he was still on the team technically, but not on the team, but they just voided the contract. He had $1 million coming to him if he was not even re-signed or anything.
So
they
Coach,
voided the contract to put it in. Now he's a 2 years on this team.
So Coach, what you're saying is, if they don't get if a deal don't happen before free agency, it's still nothing really to worry about.
Right. If nobody's knocking down Caleb's door on that first day, you don't hear anything about somebody offer Kaleb McGary a contract on the first go round, just think there's a chance he's come back to Atlanta. I'm just saying. That's just me. I ain't the GM, but if you look at Atlanta, what they've done. Atlanta is one of those, like you said, nobody know what the hell they're gonna do. They keep everything to the vest, man. You don't know.
Well, for one, you can't know what somebody gonna do when they need everything.
You know what other teams do, they let you know. Thomas and Mitchell will let you know, right or wrong. You know what Thomas is gonna do from day one. He tell you what he's gonna do.
He'll scream from the rooftops what he's
This
gonna
team
do.
here, man, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm serious. Caleb may be going. I don't know, but that's a good chance he coming back, man. So why? Now, of course, I heard you talking earlier. Why would they give up all that production? That's a lot of production to give up.
It's hard, bro.
That's a lot.
I mean,
That's a lot.
you can't. I understand going with what you know rather than what you don't know yet. I understand that because you can get one of them tackles out the draft.
But
And
okay. I hear what you're saying. I'm finna interrupt real quick.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get one to take out the draft, and it may not work out.
Exactly.
But you know, McGary, at least you know what you're getting.
Exactly.
But when you got the money,
they got the money to use on him.
Nah, they don't say they got the money to use on, but he getting less than 18 mil.
Exactly. Think about it. That's the franchise tag. That's the franchise tag, 18 million. So that means that's within the top. What the top right north? I'm not mistaken. That's the top 5%. Right?
Yeah, it's the average of the top 5 contracts at that position.
Right, top 5.
Well, he getting less.
Ryan Ramczyk, like even he's like number 1. He ain't even making like 20 mil.
Exactly. So we can probably squeeze Caleb out for 14 mil. That's possible.
He should take that.
And I think he would if he wants. But then again, he could be kind of sore that he didn't get that 50 option.
No, he can't. If he is, he's slow. If he is, something's off because that's 1 year. You did this for 1 year. You had one good season out of what, 5, 4?
He mauled defenders, bro.
Yeah,
and Darren, it's 1 year.
You can't fake the funk mauling grown ass men.
Hey,
It's 1 year. Do it again. And I'll pay you more later down the line, maybe. In incentives and bonuses. Do it again.
But look at this. This is another thing you got to look at also. His last 2 years has actually not been that bad since Arthur done been there. You got to realize he came with Dan Quinn when they tried to throw the ball a million times. He's not a pass protector. He's a mauler. He's a mauler.
Well,
he's in the
like
right
your left tackles are your pass protectors.
Exactly.
We still got that
blind side.
Exactly.
That's the blind. Well, you're going to have to get another left tackle anyway because Jake getting up in age.
Well, not right now.
He's a Matthews family. They stayed like 25 years in the league.
Exactly. Especially the linemen. They be in there forever. They thought, I'm home, daddy.
But this I got to give y'all this, okay? I got to give y'all this. Yeah, Alex. He probably is mid at best in pass pro. But what y'all you have an offense that has a specific game plan. They are going to run the ball and be physically dominant. Stay right there. Stay right there in that picture frame. Run the ball, physically dominant. You cannot argue. I dare somebody to argue that Kaleb McGary didn't get out there and beat ass all season long. Outside of one game, we know what game that was, that Carolina game. Everybody got their ass whooped in that second game.
That was all around ass whooping.
The whole team got their ass handed to them. The only person did. Oh, I take that back. Cool missed a field goal in that game, I think. So
Everybody
I take that back.
Ass.
Everybody got their ass handed to them. But nobody can dispute that Kaleb McGary does 90% better than most of the league in run protection. He literally was putting grown men, 240, 230, 250-pound men on their ass. He was sending them into the damn bleachers. He was sending them to the sideline. Nobody can dispute it. Once he gets your hands on you, you done. You ain't getting out of Kaleb McGary grasp. He's going to destroy you in the running game. That's what I'm paying for. I don't give a fuck about him being mid-range in pass protection. We ain't a passing team, bruh. We are a running team. We want to run it down your fucking throat. That's what we want to do. And that's what Kaleb McGary do best. Arthur Smith walked over to that sideline. What game that was, y'all? He walked over to the sideline in that Cleveland game. Chris Lindstrom and Kaleb McGary sitting there, and he looked over to him and he told him, get ready to run the fucking ball. And you want to know what Kaleb McGary and Chris Lindstrom both said in unison? They looked up and said, run that shit then. They said it just like that.
Run that shit.
That's what I'm paying for. That's what I'm paying 16, 17 mil for.
15, 16.
The other thing to consider. Who's playing to the left of him?
Chris Lindstrom.
The best offensive lineman in the league.
The best offensive lineman in the league.
Say that again.
Who can you play to the right of him?
Kyle Pitts, Michael
You can play
Pruitt.
some tight ends there, right?
Yep.
We got some pretty good blocking tight ends. Like,
John Fitzgerald and John Fitzpatrick.
We got some really stocky running backs that can also send a chip in whenever they need to. I'm saying, like, people and coaches can game plan and try to hide any sort of weaknesses until you get to like the playoffs. So that's like solely your targeted thing. Like, you have to find that one little weakness and then exploit that, right? But during the regular season, they just don't have the same time in order to do that. So what we can do is, if we decide to bring a mid pass protector back there, but he's a dominant run blocker there, as his position kind of allows him to be, you can shift the line. You can add a tight end there. You can, have a running back over there to kind of watch out for his blocks. Like, we've seen all sorts of clips, even last year when we had Mike Davis. Like, he was chipping. We were chipping dudes. So they fell over, right? That was extra pancakes right there. I'm saying it's like, but what you can't do is in our zone run scheme is try to hide that tackle because he's the edge. He has to set that. Defensive ends have to try to set the edge against that.
Mm-hmm.
He also has to watch out for anything in between so that, people can't kind of slide in between and then disrupt in the back in the line of scrimmage and stuff.
Ain't got time for right tackles to be getting their hand healed. Ain't got time for it in this offense.
Especially not in the run game. And even when it comes down to it, it takes offensive linemen just a little bit longer to get used to the offense. Just a little bit longer in order to get into their grown man condition, their grown man strength training in the locker room in the offseason. Get that training camp in. Get that playbook in their head. With Kaleb McGary, you don't have to worry about all that for the coach, for the positional group. But then you can kind of focus on, all right, well, I can just have Chris Lindstrom and Kaleb McGary just kind of like talk to each other, and then I can focus on my center, who's been inconsistent all year. Maybe have them be on the same page as all five of them. Maybe we can get a healthy Elijah Wilkinson or someone else, and then kind of solidify that group because, like Gary was already saying, like, hey, that's where a lot of our problems were created from because we didn't have the consistency right there. What we did have was consistency on the right side of the field and a left tackle, for what it's worth. Like, you can hide that stuff. You can't hide interior. But thankfully, even if the free agency doesn't scream it's full of interior guys, the draft definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for that as well. But you need another body on that, if not two, on that offensive line to fully protect that man. That is, we already know he's going to be the starting quarterback. More than likely, no matter who you bring in, a Tannehill, Garoppolo, hopefully not, Baker, Jacoby Brissett, someone in that caliber is coming. But you need to provide the ultimate protection package. Somewhat like Brock Purdy had. Brock Purdy came into a beautiful. I ain't saying he gonna come into that next year, Desmond, but doing it. you got to add at least one more for a certain body on there. We don't need a question mark at left guard anymore. That needs to be signed, sealed, delivered, Stevie Wonder signed, and packaged off right there.
But you ready to risk having a question mark at right tackle?
I didn't say, look, if you got somebody better that on paper is better in a category and similar in the run category as him, do it. I ain't saying get rid of him, but he is definitely, like you said there, when he get your hands on you, he moving you. That's left guard.
But talk about being on paper. We was 2-7 on paper last year. I mean, we would have been 2-15 on paper last year. That didn't happen. I don't that on paper stuff. I don't go down on paper.
That was Mariota. We was on paper because of Mariota, and nobody knew how Drake London was going to turn out.
But I got another statement for that also. Because I don't think we're going to change center. I'm going to tell you why. He can call out that defense. He called out the defense last year a lot.
Who, Drew?
The center guy. he probably wasn't blocking the greatest, but he knows the offense. And he has to get better. That's for one. He has to get better. But he's not going anywhere. We do another guard. If Wilkinson's healthy, I think we'll be okay. Because when I'm telling you, when Wilkinson played early in the season before he got hurt, that offensive line was solid up the middle. We had the least sacks in the league when he was healthy from the beginning. Think about it. There was hardly no sacks up the middle.
So you willing to risk unhealthy because Elijah Wilkinson is what, 28, 29?
If he ain't healthy, we ain't gonna use him.
That's a toss-up. That was his first impression. First impression, and he hurt. We got to be better than that. And if we can do better than that with the money, if you can find a right left guard, if not, you drafting anyway. You drafting a lineman in the draft in the first 3 rounds.
And I agree with you. We do need some more backup money. But then again, do we have enough that's sitting on the practice squad already?
I don't believe in. I ain't seen enough out of Justin Schaefer, so I don't know. But Justin Schaefer, he played guard in Georgia. Either they ain't giving him enough opportunity, or we just couldn't see him as much.
That's why you think about it. That's why they put him on. When they put him on the practice squad, they put him on the injured reserve at the same time. That's like a hiding mechanism that these teams have now. They hide guys these days.
Let's remind everybody of the process of how they did this.
Yeah, they hide things, man.
They released. He didn't make the 53-man roster, and then they signed him to the practice squad, and then they put him on the IR list.
Yep.
None of this is by mistake. They did the same thing for
Caleb was the same way too.
For Caleb Huntley. Did the same thing for Huntley. They did the same thing for some guys on the defensive side of the ball. This isn't by mistake when they do this. This is all what's the word I'm looking for? This is all
design.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about strategy.
But before Dizelle, I'm gonna let you transition over to the next one. But before you do, what I'm doing with Kaleb McGary is this: if he's okay with taking 16, I give it to him,
or less.
But I'll pay him 16, and I'll give him a $1 million or $2 million incentive
if he makes the Pro Bowl.
If he makes the Pro Bowl, I will give him that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because what we do is run the ball. That's what we do. And he does that phenomenally well. I don't care what nobody say. I saw him abuse grown men.
That he did.
Grown men.
And I see the heart in the tenacity. Is he 28? Yeah, he's 28. But he was old coming out of college.
Yeah, he was.
But you want to know what something else I appreciate out of Kaleb McGary? Kaleb McGary got a heart condition, y'all.
Yeah.
He got a heart condition,
I can attest to that
and yet he's gotten better every season.
every season.
And he played better than he was better than most of the league at right tackle in run protection and run blocking. And he didn't just do it better; he did it phenomenally better. I can appreciate that. That's the toughness and the heart I need out of my guys. That's the kind of physicality that I need out of my guys from Arthur Smith. Y'all got to remember, Arthur Smith is an offensive lineman.
Yep.
Y'all got to remember that. You think he don't appreciate what he got out of Kaleb McGary last year?
Nah, he appreciated it.
So y'all think about that. Y'all think about that, and y'all think about the holes we are. Okay, the center position, like Coach said, we might not change it, but it still needs to be addressed. The left guard position still needs to be addressed. We already have we got one hole for sure, two potential holes. Do you want to make a third hole on the offensive line when you just had the third best rushing attack in the National Football League? Do you really want to take a chance at risking having another hole to have to plug on this team that is full of holes? Full of them.
Nah, if we can sign some people, we can win a lot of games. I'm just saying.
Show nothing.
With this,
coach.
With this half utilized line we stopped a couple of people who win a lot of games.
A coach now. I'm gonna end my dispute on this. Now if a team gives up averaging less than 20 points a game, you're supposed to win that game.
You say what? What'd you say?
The defense a team only scored more than 19 points on the defense
on the average.
On average, or is it one or two times? It was all we already know that Cincinnati game. That was a complete dumpster fire, and it was the Panthers game, if I'm not mistaken. The only time.
The Rainy Bowl game.
Yeah. Other than that, the defense gave up 17 points on average, 16, 15 points. You're supposed to win those games.
Well,
you're supposed to win those games.
Let me push back on that just a little bit.
Please do.
Yes, you're supposed to win those games. But if you got people on your defense that are not doing their fucking job, you're not going to win those games. I don't care how low your point total is.
We were still incredibly low in missed tackles.
Terrible.
Thank you.
Just terrible.
Terrible.
Michael Walker.
Oh,
what
I
are you
knew
doing?
you were gonna say it.
I'm gonna keep coming for your ass until you improve.
He's not.
My
He's
point.
number 3. He doesn't deserve a name.
Call him Trey. Trey nothing.
Trey nothing.
Trey nothing.
Oh man.
But yeah, so we'll save the defense offense topic for another time because it's time to get to the meat and potatoes of tonight.
Twinkle toes.
I got
now,
to sleep. I'm tired.
Outside, boss.
This Sunday, man.
Hey.
I don't know so many people I don't put this terrified. I'm tired of talking to
Lord, Coach.
You got, I swear, Coach, you got people looking out the window looking like Forrest Gump and Jenny walking away. Talking about Lamar, where you going? Lamar, come back.
Let me get real ignorant real quick.
Go ahead.
If y'all watched earlier today, I dropped a video where I had to go plumb the fuck off on some of our Falcon fans.
Drop that ball, man.
Because yesterday and days prior, I had to watch and listen to a whole lot of bullshit just for fans to try to validate their feelings for why they wanted Lamar Jackson here. Nothing made sense.
Nobody got a real answer.
Nothing made sense. That's what drew out what happened earlier today. You have to make sense in your argument of why you want somebody here or why you want to sign or draft somebody. It has to make sense. To say something is stupid. It was stupid as hell for somebody to say. Somebody said this on a stream. On a Falcon content creator had somebody on their stream that had the nerve to say that if you keep waiting for development out of players, you're going to continue to be a losing team. It's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. It's dumb. There's not one player that comes into the NFL from college that doesn't need to develop. You might be used to fist fighting in the yard at school, but when it's time for you to nut up against a grown man in Walmart parking lot because you hit his car with your buggy, we gonna see if it's the same as getting to fisticuffs with somebody in the schoolyard. We gonna see if it's the same.
It ain't the same.
We gonna see if it's the same. Everybody has to develop. And not now one of you know what? I ain't gonna go like I did earlier. Nobody has given a legitimate answer to whether or not Lamar Jackson has evolved at the quarterback position. Not now one of you some bitches has been able to explain how he's gotten better as a quarterback. Nobody.
There's always one answer. He won an MVP.
He won an MVP.
They always say that.
That's their answer.
But nobody's been able to say how. And when we do stuff like pull up stat comparisons to him and Marcus Mariota, oh, y'all crazy as hell for comparing him to Mark. How you gonna compare? Well, a goddamn stat sheet tell me he compare a whole lot to Marcus Mariota because they got damn near identical numbers. You stupid sons of bitches. And then you say, oh, well, he's going to be able to run the ball better than Marcus. Well, Marcus had more rushing touchdowns than Lamar Jackson this past season. How do you like that?
How good did that do us, Blackberry?
Didn't do us no damn good.
Okay.
So before I continue on, I've already ran it today. I'm going to pass this on to Noah. Noah, no Lamar in the ATL. Tell them how they need to deal with it.
Okay. Here's the thing. This entire offseason has been about how dumb we are to not do this, to not be involved, to not be begging for them already, to not do this. And especially like this last couple of days, we've been the stupid ones, right? Like there was like 5 other teams that were in contention that could have gotten them, but we were the stupid ones.
Yep.
You know who really could have been the stupid ones? The Ravens.
The Ravens.
If he really was as advertised, why are they taking him over 2 years to try to negotiate a contract with him?
They don't want that.
If they've been building around their entire team around him and his talents, if they've been trying to make sure that they get their cap stuff, but they also have to lock down their other defensive stars, right? They had to trade for Roquan Smith, but then they also just had to send freaking Chuck Clark to the Jets for like a next year's 7th. Like they have to make their own sacrifices and they're to try to balance it out. And like him and Greg Roman, they've been trying to work together. All of a sudden, that just wasn't working out that right. Plus, you also got to consider that people keep bringing up, oh, well, he don't have no weapons over there.
They're leaving.
Weren't they one of the other teams that was like top 3 in rushing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I wasn't
They
always
beat
good.
us. They beat us.
They was second in rushing, I believe.
Yes.
They
They
was
was
second. Was that Chicago first?
Don't they have a multi-Pro Bowl talented tight end, or Mark Andrews?
Yes.
That was their only receiver.
That's what I thought.
They also had Isaiah Likely to back him up. And he
Yeah.
was also a pretty good contributor.
Mhm.
It's not Lamar's
Elvis
fault, and it's not Greg
Dumervil is
Roman's
no-
fault.
Yeah, and Elvis
That-
Dumervil is no slouch, bro. I don't know why people act like Dumervil is sorry or something.
Because he's
It's not
not
like a
he's not a mainstream wide
Von Miller or
receiver.
somebody like that. Yeah.
Elvis Dumervil.
Dumerville, a linebacker, ain't he?
Nah, you talking about Duvernay.
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 Evan
Yeah,
Duvernay.
he-
Yeah.
He was the
My
kick
bad.
returner.
Duvernay.
But he was also the he was a like
Played
their
offense.
he was their own version of a Debo.
Like a
I
slot
mean, he
receiver.
ain't
Like,
sorry. He ain't
Nah, he not.
sorry.
He not.
Like, it ain't Lamar's fault, and it ain't Greg Roman's fault that they had to trade Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals.
Yep.
Yeah, because he ain't want to play with
wanna play
Lamar no
Lamar.
more.
But they thought the receiver they got in the draft,
And Rashad Bateman.
Bateman, was gonna do more, I guess. But I mean, he a rookie. He a rookie
But then
receiver.
again,
Everybody ain't
doesn't-
gonna come in the league like Jamar Chase.
So I got a question for you. So what makes him think he can come to Atlanta and make things better?
I mean, he gonna have a better circle around him.
Why is that?
Is he going to play?
Oh. Yeah.
Is he going to be available?
That's the big question right there. He been hurt for 10 games.
For the last 2 years. He's been
Two
hurt for 14.
seasons. 2 seasons. He's been hurt.
I don't see based off the market is how he got his numbers in his contract, how he want his numbers to look in his contract. Because you got people, and it's not his fault. It's an owner's problem, to be honest. Because you got owners paying stupid money to somebody that been out the league. How long Deshaun Watson was out the league? 2 years? A year and a half?
About almost 2 years, yeah.
And he got $200 million guaranteed. They gonna be in a butthole problem in the next 2 years when you got 3 years when you got to pay Nick Chubb, Greedy Williams contract coming up, all these contracts coming up. So you got that problem. On top of that, Daniel Jones.
But I've been thinking about something about the Deshaun Watson, how he got so much money. Think about this. This is my
Look at that dumb
conspiracy.
shit. Look at that dumb shit. Look at that dumb shit.
Oh my God.
Look at this dumb shit right here.
Somebody take a look at this.
I was going to say something.
Somebody look at this.
Threw
Come
me
look
off
at
right
this.
there. That
Go
threw
ahead,
me
Cole.
off.
Go ahead, Cole.
There's something else that said that Lamar hasn't had any actual injuries. That's a false narrative.
That's
He ain't
bullshit.
had no actual in. What
How
the
else do
hell,
you think
bruh?
that Tyler Huntley accidentally made the Pro Bowl?
If the team wasn't good enough, why I was going to say that, but why did he make the Pro Bowl?
he let him get his
He must
shine.
been okay
I'm gonna
for
step back.
But anyway, another thing about Deshaun Watson, you got to talk about that contract. Think about this. Could he got that contract because they're trying to protect the NFL owner?
Oh yeah, you know Goodell is there to
I'm talking
protect
about,
him.
Houston owner is one of those good old boys in the NFL, right?
He sure is.
So could he got that money and like, just pay him? Think about it.
My other thing too is
Protection.
right because people they want to understand about the franchise tax solution, but then they don't know what to do with that information. Because we already talked about a little bit about the non-exclusive tags and what that represents for Kaleb McGary. What that does for Lamar Jackson is about the same thing, right?
Speak on it.
So
Speak on it. Mm-hmm.
we got the 2 first-round picks. We got this whole like kind of legal tampering situation that we quote unquote could get into. But it's just the conversation. It's getting your foot in the door, right? When people said that we had the same situation happen with Deshaun Watson, what ended up happening? What was the domino effect of that, right? When we had our name get dragged into that conversation by Deshaun himself. What did that do? It caused Matt Ryan to get traded.
Yep.
Because when they saw that, hey, we had our starting quarterback and that we had our team that was looking to replace him, he was like, okay, I see what's going on here. You guys clearly don't want me. You guys clearly want to go somewhere younger. I at least want the benefit of the doubt, or I at least want the benefit of letting me choose where I want to go next. And we did that for him. He chose Indy. We traded him to Indy. And then once we did that, people were saying that we had no choice but to go all in for Deshaun Watson. But then once we traded away Matt Ryan, 30 minutes later, we had to sign Marcus Mariota.
Here we go.
And then it became a situation about, okay, well, now what do we really want? Because, yeah, at that point, Mariota was a cheap deal. He was a veteran. He understood Arthur Smith's system. Like, we had our own kind of things to say about him at that point. We could still kind of say the same thing. But what that tells us is when you tell your starting quarterback that you're not good enough, when you stop crowning him, when you stop supporting him in favor of someone else that you haven't even talked enough about, that doesn't send a good message to the signal call that you got on your team right now. Whether it was some rookie or whether it was a proven veteran like Matt Ryan, they all get the same negative message. Like, hey, we don't think you're good enough to do our job, so we want to replace you. That does not send a good message, especially if you want to keep him afterwards too. So that's why they probably weren't in pursuit of him, because they didn't want to upset the quarterback that their entire scout team and general manager and a head coach was trying to build their confidence around. If you do that, and then on top of that, kind of backstab him and be like, all right, well, let's get Lamar instead. Again, that's not a good signal.
Right.
Ghost Pepper.
So,
real quick, Noah. Ghost Peppers, I need for you to print this out, memorize it, and I need you to go to every Falcon content creator outside of myself, outside of Coach Unchained, outside of Noah Tyndale, outside of Mad Mike Sports, Six Man K Styles, Utah Sports. I need you to go to each and every last one of them outside of us, and I need you to comment on every last video they dropped. Well, somebody said that stupid shit right there, because you just gave them exactly what they need to hear, what they need to read. If he's going to bring in so much fucking talent, why they ain't trying to go to Baltimore now?
they said the same thing for Deshaun Watson last year too, and they brought in no talent afterwards.
None.
Message.
You know what?
Message.
But you know what? Did Deshaun deserve that much money? Guaranteed?
I told
No,
you what it is.
of course not.
I'm telling y'all what it is.
But
It's a good old boy.
At least he passed for 5,000 yards in the season before.
Yeah.
At least he's done that.
But players know, okay, if you paying this person all this money and you want him to bring in other attractions,
Can't afford
he's gonna be able to afford me.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Not to mention the people that they already had, like Denzel Ward or Myles Garrett and the
Exactly.
offensive linemen.
How you
You
gonna
got
be
Nick
able to afford
Chubb.
the ones that's trying to that How you gonna be able to afford the superstars that's trying to get there?
Mm.
I mean, they have
Yeah, I want a welfare
Schwartz.
check.
They got Schwartz, Amari Cooper.
Check this out.
Ngaku.
The
Joku,
Philadelphia
I think they already tried to trade him too.
Because they can't
yeah,
afford
they
nobody
did.
else.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford.
Can't afford nobody else. The Philadelphia Eagles in starting front defensive line are free
All of them
agents.
to be called.
All of them.
Except for Jordan Davis.
Because he cheat right now.
That's it. And maybe Fletcher Cox, because he might want to retire Eagle, so he might just take a pay cut. But the rest of the team, most of them were drafted to the Eagles. But now they in cap hell because they went and spent buckets of money on the defensive line. And they didn't even win.
All them sacks all season, didn't get one.
Another team that was trying to build their defensive line for like 6 years straight was San Francisco.
And they got hurt.
Season.
Hurt.
But
Damn,
but Noah, who's the most consistent person on that defensive line
For who?
for the 49ers?
I'd say
That
Bosa.
Bosa kid.
Bosa, right?
Mhm.
Did they get Bosa in free agency?
No, they drafted him.
They drafted him
Nope.
second right after Kyler Murray.
Oh, you don't say.
Hold on. Blackberry, who missed out on Bosa?
Ha
I believe it was us. Because we drafted Tat McKinley.
ha!
You mean Stat McKinley, who ain't got none.
Lord have mercy.
That's a story for that's a discussion for another day, bro.
That's Stat McKinley. He
Who
got
we
none.
had drafted instead of TJ Watt?
Yeah, we drafted that dude instead of TJ, man. No, instead of that was TJ Watt. Yeah,
It was TJ.
it was TJ. Yeah, not Bosa. Yeah, right.
Still,
Oh yeah, that's right. That was
Same.
yeah, that's right.
same shit.
He still ain't got no stats. So.
But hell, I take TJ Watt too. Shoot.
Same shit. Different toilet.
But look who the people were.
And
They
where he
couldn't-
at now?
They couldn't draft their way out of a plastic bag. So they're gonna
Yeah,
just
just like
suffocate.
Tev said, right? Nick Bosa and Fred Warner were both part of player development. Fred Warner was a third-round pick.
Sure was.
He was in the
Yeah.
same draft class as Shaq Leonard.
Let's go on to this next topic.
I can see clearly now. Mm-hmm.
Are fans taking nap time on Ritter?
No, they're not sleeping.
At all.
They either have insomnia or have nightmares.
Ritter is dead to them.
Dead?
Dead. From what? Look.
But
look.
I just got to say something real quick on this too, because I'm glad we're bringing up Ritter finally. For those that are saying like, well, he's a third-round pick. We don't know him anything, and that we were surprised, quote unquote, we were surprised when we got him in the third round. Okay, if I remember correctly, let's think back to the teams that really needed a quarterback. Because in my head, 29 out of the 32 teams that season already had an idea of who their quarterback one was going to be. And we were one of the 29.
Yes.
The only three teams that didn't really know what they were doing at quarterback was like the Jets, Seahawks, and Texans. Keep those three teams in mind.
Mm-hmm.
But every other team that you can think of, they already had an idea of who wanted the quarterback. And the one team that did, like you could say 28, and that was the Steelers. And they drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, no one else really needed that kind of quarterback. Which is why even a Malik Willis, even someone else, like a Sam Howell or whatever, like all those quarterbacks started falling. Matt Corral was another one. Like all those quarterbacks started falling. Because at that point, they already had an idea of who they wanted a quarterback. So the market, like the supply and demand, it did not overlap. And I'm glad that Alex is trying to question me about the Jets, because what did the Jets end up doing? They ended up drafting the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks ended up had like 2 runner-ups, Kenneth Walker and Tariq Woolen, in the same draft class.
Mm-hmm.
And the Texans, they wanted to give Davis Mills another shot. I don't really blame them. But at the same time, you can also say, well, that was the year where you could have gotten him. But now look what they are. They're second on the draft pick. No skin off their nose, and they still got Derek Stingley and whatnot. Like, they all had really good draft classes because they didn't have to reach for a quarterback. And now they're in position where, like, hey, Seahawks, they solved it with Geno Smith. They just paid for him. Jets, they're trying to solve it with Aaron Rodgers. We'll see how that goes. Texans, they're right in the running for whoever they want to get in this year's draft class. They didn't leave themselves out of the market for a quarterback. Desmond Ridder was still there for us, and we ended up trying to get a linebacker before him. We ended up trying to get another pass rusher before him. We ended up getting a receiver that was made for him because people said he had accuracy issues, but, like, how do you solve a person with accuracy issues? You give him too big of a body to miss.
Drake London.
Throw it up there, kid.
And
yes. So, yeah, we were not surprised. If anything, it was more like, oh my God, our draft strategy actually worked. It wasn't like what the heck? Like, why is he still here? Right? Desmond Ridder himself was like, dude, it shouldn't have freaking taken this long, dude. It's like,
it shouldn't have taken that long.
But at the same time, that market
great
just
strategy,
wasn't
though.
as equal as in previous years. Which is why people were able to get, like, hey, let's get some other depth pieces before him and after him and make him work.
And people don't realize, Arthur Smith said he's been looking at this kid since he's been in college. It ain't like it was his first time looking at him. Desmond fell what they wanted him to fall at that time. And he was there when they wanted him to pick him. So, like I said,
it's incredible value for him.
Yeah.
And if you can make him work, more power to you. But if you refuse to make him work,
that's the problem. Waste of money.
They thought he would go. They thought somebody would jump on him before.
Now that's no longer a bust. Now you just ended another person's career. Or you prevented him from having one.
Can't see that happening. Can't see it
Big
happening.
Will, what's up with you, Big Will?
Big Will.
What's happening? Man, some business to take care of, man. Sorry, I'm late to the show, man.
No, you all good, my guy. You all
You
good.
right on time. You right on time, bro.
We gonna go around the horn with this. Then we gonna drop the link in the chat. We gonna let a couple fans come in. They want to talk for the last portion of the show. They want to get some off their chest. If you want to, whatever it is you want to talk about, what we done talked about tonight, you will. I'm gonna start with you, Will. Go ahead. We gonna go around the horn. Then we'll let the fans come in. Are fans sleeping on Ritter, Will?
Man, they been sleeping on Ritter. You already know it, bro. You already know it. But what I want to put to him in that little 4-game stretch, what did he show you that said he wasn't ready? What did he show you that said he wasn't ready? Because all 4 games was competitive. He got knocked down. What in his first game? He got back up and led a drive back down. You know what I'm saying? Against the Saints. What in them 4 games show you that this man ain't ready? Because every one of them games I saw, he showed poise.
Yes.
Every last one of them, bro.
Facts.
And we want to go back to this Lamar situation since everybody want to talk about Lamar. Dude, name how many times this man had close to 4,000 yard passing. He do play quarterback, right? You're paid to throw the ball, right?
Rushing when he got
this man, this ain't got nothing to do with hate or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you just sit here and watch the film without bias, the first thing you see this man do, the first read ain't there, he out the back door.
Right.
Every single time, bro. I don't care how many times you watch it. That read ain't there, he out the door, bro. And the main reason we want him in Atlanta because we selfish. We want another Vic prodigy down here. We want to get that feeling back again. Come on, bro. When Vic was here, we didn't win, bro. When Vic was here, we didn't win. But he gave you an exciting game because he ran the ball.
Exciting. Yes.
He was exciting. I give you that all day. Lamar Jackson, he exciting. I'm not gonna lie about that. He exciting as hell. But he ain't playing his position. He get paid to play quarterback. But you want these owners to get this man a fully guaranteed contract, and he don't throw the ball. We might as well just start making the running backs relevant again, right? When the last time you seen a running back get drafted in the first round?
Been a minute.
It's been a while.
Like Saquon?
Yeah, because they're dime a dozen.
Saquon was the last one.
Dime a dozen. You feel what I'm saying?
Saquon might be the last one. Yeah.
You want to pay a quarterback to be a running back, hey man, be all mean, but I don't want to do that in Atlanta. Not here.
Hey, Will, I got a question for you.
What's that?
How many playoff games did Michael Vick win when he was here?
We already know, bro. I think he probably won one. He won one.
I think it was two.
There was two.
It was two.
I remember against the Packers,
Yeah,
right?
we made it to the NFC.
And then there was the divisional round against the Rams.
Right.
Wild card against the Rams.
So wait, Matt Ryan got more than him?
How many seasons was he here? How many seasons was he here? From
like a total of 6.
I think it was like 6 before he got locked up.
He only got 2 playoff wins in 6 years.
Dogs.
Hey, Alex, I can't wait for you to tap that link when I drop it, bro. He wasn't asked to go through multiple reads this year.
That's a lot. Then you know the main thing they always come up with, Lamar Jackson ain't have no receiver. Looked like that receiver. He had went down to Arizona. Did he have over 1,000-yard receiver?
Oh boy!
Did Kaleb have a lot of receivers? Didn't he go to the Pro Bowl?
Man, I'm talking about like what Mark Andrews just have. Come on, bro. Come on now.
Listen, man. Sometimes we get all wrapped up in numbers and analytics and all that, and we forget basic football. Every quarterback has multiple reads. Every single quarterback has multiple reads, bro.
Every passing play, they got multiple reads.
Every passing play. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in trying to be so intelligent that we forget the basics.
Basics.
This is how you do it.
But then they forget your boy Ritter. He did run a 4.5. Oh, so he can run himself, but he don't choose to run. He run when he got to.
Yep.
He choose to stand there and throw the ball.
And he keeps his eye downfield.
Yeah, he keep his eye downfield. He found it. You seen how Drake London became when he started quarterback.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, this a whole nother receiver right here. That boy took them sleeves out, became goddamn Hercules. He became a beast out there, but took them sleeves out, catching everything.
I think I got a premonition. So y'all remember that Georgia game? What is this? The Chick-fil-A Bowl?
Yeah.
And he was really whooping our butt
when they had us down, right? Yeah,
whooping our ass.
And that was a almost NFL like defense. You might as well say, because Jordan Davis, I think he was hurt that game. Jordan Davis hurt that game.
It is an NFL defense. That's what all the quarterbacks say, man. We ain't seen no defense like that every time they play Jordan.
Every one of them. Man, you're right. Every one of them.
I mean, Ojulari is a starting defensive end and been starting since he got in the league. So that's a defensive NFL like edge rusher.
Trayvon Walker, first overall pick.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So he played against NFL caliber and he wasn't doing bad against Alabama.
Jordan Davis started before he got hurt. Then they put him at second string. Once he got hurt, he was starting. He was starting.
Who was the linebacker that year? It wasn't what's called. It was another linebacker that year.
But either way, at the end of that game,
Linebacker for the Georgia? Was it N'Kobe Dean?
The Dean that year too?
Dean
Was
was
it
there.
Channing Tindall?
Channing Tindall was there too.
Tindall was there. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
Tindall.
Yeah, it was Dean and your boy. Yeah, it was Dean. The other one was gone. Rokon was gone. I think
Rokon
he
was
drafted.
gone.
Rokon was gone.
Yeah, he was gone.
He was
Yeah,
gone.
Dean then. Yeah.
Morgan was like 2018.
He had been
Yeah.
gone for a couple years already.
Yeah, he was long.
Yeah,
gone.
I think that was N'Kobe Dean sophomore
Kobe,
year.
it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
Either way, they all was there, and he played against them. The best defense ever seen,
Almost beat him too.
and almost beat them. The
If it
man
wasn't for your boy
stood.
Paul,
He
Oh,
stood
my bad.
on the field at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and watched that celebration. And it's odd that he gets picked up in the draft by that same NFL team that played up.
Playing that stadium. Exactly.
yeah.
He's undefeated at home. I know that.
He is undefeated at home.
So
He ain't lost in Mercedes-Benz.
don't
Yes, sir.
start making sense. Don't start making sense for the damn fans. Please don't. As
Don't
soon
do
as you
that.
start making sense, soon
Don't
as
do
you
that,
start
Coach.
making sense, they gonna swear you don't make sense. So
He
just
ain't threw not one pick.
You know, I don't give a
You don't know what you're talking about, Coach.
He
Hey.
played against a defense of New Orleans, no picks. A defense of Tampa Bay, no picks. Who was the other defense?
Baltimore.
He ain't throw no picks.
No picks.
Zero.
Arizona, no picks.
No
Oh,
picks.
they say he liked to throw a pick, man. That ball was tipped.
He liked
you
to?
can't control that. Somebody
I
took
like-
the ball and they
Y'all
still
almost
dropped
threw
the
a
pick.
I like to be there.
Check the stats, baby. What it say in the stat sheet?
Exactly.
0 turnovers, bro.
0.
And he commanded the offense. And can we point something out that none of the fans want to recognize? He ran
What,
a
that he
whole
stood toe to toe with Tom Brady?
no. I don't even care about that shit. he ran a whole nother offense, bro. He ran a traditional offense. Whereas with Mariota, Arthur Smith knew the best offense for Mariota to run was that help me, y'all. I'm losing it.
The RPO?
That RPO.
Oh yeah, he even run RPO.
And he comes in and he's right. He's in shot. He's under center. He's in shotgun and in a single back backfield most of the time. So not only did he command an offense, but he didn't even have to run the offense that he was watching on the bench most of the season. They gave him enough. They had enough trust in him. All this trust that some of y'all fans saying they ain't got in rid of. They trusted him to go out there and run an offense that they hadn't been running all year.
Yep.
And he
And
did
you know,
it with 0 turnovers.
Is that true?
Penalties.
Is that let somebody look at this stat.
I gotta look that up. That's interesting. I gotta look that up.
I'm looking at
That's
the stats
interesting.
from that Georgia game. As we talk about the Georgia game, he was
Here's the thing: even if
pretty good.
that's close to being true, you remember the Jets preseason game? Like we got our first glimpse of him in like the first half of that one, and how many kind of pre-snap penalties we kept having in that game. We had like 10 in like the second quarter alone.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was
It was
really
horrible.
bad.
So to go from that, and then a couple months later, for almost having like next to none, or if not 0, that's another factor of improvement.
Big upsize.
Coaching.
Hey, he was the
Coaching
most
matters.
experienced QB in the draft that year. People forget.
Facts.
And the
But
winnings too.
And the most
winnings.
winningest. And the
The
most winningest.
Look at the numbers.
And in college, he was the best quarterback in the conference when under pressure.
Poise.
That's right.
What they say about Bryce Young? Poise.
We gonna drop the link in the chat. Anybody want to come in, say their piece, give your takes. We here for it.
Come here. All right, let me say this.
Go ahead, Ed.
Okay, so some ding dong on Facebook, I think it was yesterday or the day before,
Beanie weenie.
said he would rather trade for Jimmy G than trust Desmond Ritter for one
Let me
season.
get out here. Let me get on here.
So to answer your question, are these Falcons fans sleeping on Desmond Ritter? Hell yeah, they sleeping. They done took some NyQuil ever since he got drafted.
They popping lean. They drinking lean. Who is this?
That's
What's going on,
Wolf. They
Wolf.
Wolf. That's Wolf. That's one of the family.
Yes.
That's the family. What's going
Okay.
on with you, Wolf? What you want to talk about, my guy?
Listen, I just shot a video responding to Mad Mike about the Lamar Jackson. Just
I
shot it
just listened to
today.
that too.
I'm the only one that responded to Mike the first time he talked about Lamar. Without numbers. I didn't even mention no numbers, no MVP, no nothing about Lamar. I also said in that video, I'm comfortable with Desmond Ritter going forward. I'm okay with that. I'm going by what the boss said, right? The boss said, first interview, coming out the gate, everything is on the table. That's what the boss said. That's not what I said. That's not what none of y'all said. 12 minutes out the gate, 12 minutes out the gate, we out of Lamar. But everything was on the table. Now, in business, you take that meeting or at least send a representative to go talk to Mom Dukes. Because when you was getting your nut on Deshaun Watson, who off the field was already having the issues when Terry took the G5, the G4. He already flew out. Don't go see the man. He already had 12 cases on the docket already. And now we talking about we're going to set a precedent. Now the owners talk about, well, we don't want to guarantee contracts, but you done gave the man that off the field, you could get some help. You don't got to make a woman feel uncomfortable. And that's the bar you set, 230 guaranteed. Lamar, you want to talk about numbers? Let's talk numbers. Daniel Jones, 15 touchdowns. Lamar in 12 games, 17 touchdowns. I'm not saying I want Lamar here, but does he deserve his money? Hell yeah. Geno Smith, $103 million after 10 years? Daniel Jones, 160? Russell Wilson? Do you want to guys want to talk about Russell Wilson? And he doesn't deserve his money? Wow. Wow.
All right, OG. You just named all them quarterbacks. But what do they have in common that Lamar Jackson don't? They like to throw the ball. Lamar Jackson don't throw the ball. He deserves his money.
Daniel Jones throw the ball? Daniel Jones throw the ball?
Daniel Jones actually throw the ball.
Okay.
He actually throw the ball. But
he throw the ball?
I ain't gonna say these players do deserve their money. They do deserve their bread. But Lamar Jackson don't deserve no 230 fucking million guaranteed.
But Deshaun Watson set the bar at 230. That's where they started at.
That was just Cleveland being goddamn.
It don't matter. He set the bar.
That was Cleveland doing.
That's what the.
But he set the
bar.
bar.
The owner's trying to say we're not finna let everybody, because they let another man get another guaranteed contract. Get with it. Everybody coming for the guarantee.
So what you think Joe Burrow gonna break the bank on?
Everybody.
Boy, he finna break the bank, baby.
What you think Justin Herbert gonna get? What you
He
think?
gonna
He's
Justin
finna
Herbert
break
break?
the
Joe
bank.
Burrow throw the ball. Joe
But
Burrow
it
break
don't
records,
matter.
bro.
Daniel Jones don't throw the ball, fam. He
Quarterback
ain't
is the
throw the ball in
position, bro.
5 years. He hasn't
Daniel
thrown the ball
Jones.
in 5 years. Check the stats.
Daniel Jones had more than Lamar Jackson in passing yard, bro.
Wait, can
Daniel Jones?
No, he didn't.
Wait a
Bro,
minute.
You bugging.
Wait a minute.
Geno Smith?
Jalen Smith was like top 5 in pass
Okay,
rating.
listen.
Pass rate, yeah, he was
listen.
top 5 in pass rating.
Okay, listen. Let's just play. Let's play a game of the 12 quarterbacks that made it to the playoffs. You taking Tyler Huntley over Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, he made a Pro Bowl.
Okay, you taking Dak Prescott?
No.
You taking Dak Prescott? You taking Dak Prescott?
He got more
Yeah, I
wins.
take that Prescott on. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh Lord!
You know how
This
much
is
I don't
just-
even like that Prescott. I
Okay.
take him over Lamar
You
Jackson.
taking Kirk Cousins over Lamar?
Nah, I ain't taking Kirk Cousins. Nah.
Okay.
This hilarious,
Okay.
man. Please.
Okay. You
He's
taking
had a
Brock
pretty good
Purdy?
season, though.
You taking Brock Purdy?
Nah, I ain't taking no Purdy either. Nah.
Purdy should have never seen the field.
This is what
Oh,
But
bro.
that wasn't the thing though. The problem with Lamar Jackson that costing everybody to hold on him, giving him that bread. He don't go through his reads, bro.
Not okay.
He
but
don't
that's
go
not
through
true.
his reads.
No, that's just not
He,
true.
he one read and go.
Not
I
that's
don't care
not.
how many times you watch his film. One read and go. That's what he do, bro.
No,
He
that's
never
not.
go through his possession, bro.
That's
Let's
just
let
false.
hold on, Alex. Let's let Dre Harris. Let's let Dre get in here. Go ahead, Dre.
Hey, what's going on, people, man? How y'all doing?
What's up, player?
What's going on, bro?
So, just like everybody on here, man. I'm pretty tired of the Lamar Jackson conversation. Simply because first off, we gotta start thinking a little bit more critically when it comes to certain things. I'm up here in the DMV area, man, and I already knew that Lamar wasn't going to be in Atlanta. I talk to the Ravens fans all the time. We like 2 peas in 1 pod. They already knew he wasn't coming. However, the reason why that a lot of people are not actually thinking about, the reason why everybody was clamoring for Lamar to come to Atlanta, that nobody's really talking about, is because of Vegas. That's what it was, man. It was Vegas. Like I'm 30 minutes away from the MGM Grand. When I tell you that these folks were in there betting, and Atlanta had the highest odds of getting Lamar Jackson,
They lost.
that's all it was, man. It was all about the money, man. The NFL needed Lamar Jackson to be in Atlanta so they could make money.
Yeah.
That's what that shit really boiled down to.
That is true. Yeah.
The motherfucker is tagged now. 9 times out of 10, he's not going anywhere. However, I will say this. Lamar, I'm a Ritter fan all day. I'm going to say this about the possibility of Lamar coming to Atlanta next year if Ritter doesn't do well this year. We could talk about that. But him coming in 2023, in that 2023 season, that shit null and void. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, fella, let me break this down to y'all too. Your boy Daniel Jones almost had 1,000 yards more than Lamar Jackson. Just FYI. Just FYI.
He
Just
played
to
a
break
full
that down.
season. He played a full season.
Okay.
He played a full season.
That's another problem with
I do
Lamar
wanna-
Jackson.
15
He
games.
played a full
Jones,
season,
bro.
Lamar
and
Jackson
Lamar only
missed
played
10
12 games.
the last
But
two
do
seasons.
the math.
Lamar
Do the
Jackson
math.
missed 10 games the last 2 seasons. He's not durable, bro. He's not durable.
Okay,
Daniel
but
you
again,
really
listen.
bringing up
I
Daniel
never
Jones,
said
bro?
I wanted Lamar here.
I know.
never
I'm
said
just
that.
breaking down facts.
What
so
I
that people
said
don't-
was,
you know what I'm saying?
if other people deserve getting a money, he deserves his money.
Yeah.
So then
You
what are the
take-
Ravens
Everybody
doing?
deserves
You
their
take-
money. Yeah.
You take. Listen, I agree with 90% of what Matt Mike said. I agree with 90%. He's very excited. If he was to be coached by Arthur Smith, he would be better. These are things that Mike said. I agreed. What I didn't agree with is, okay, Terry Fontenot said, how we do something is how we do everything. Well, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. But when it came to Deshaun, he
What are we
already had
agreeing on?
12 cases in.
Well, Deshaun wasn't a call. I really believe that was Arthur Blank call right there.
Okay,
'Cause he
so
was
let's
close.
say
Yeah,
that
Deshaun
was
Watson
Arthur
dragged
Blank
us into the
call.
conversation.
Deshaun, yeah. We
Let's
didn't
say
get
that
I
was
think
into
that
Arthur
was a
Blank
play.
call.
Yeah, I
That
think
was
that was a
Deshaun.
play by his agent. His
Okay.
agent them did that.
All right,
bro.
let Alex get in here. Come on, Alex.
All right, okay. So let me just say this straight up. I've already said multiple times that I'm against this, but what I don't appreciate, right, is the narrative that Lamar can't pass, because that's just simply wrong. That's just flat out. I will bring up all clips that I have that will disprove all of that.
Oh well, they didn't
is
say
he-
he don't pass. He don't pass. We didn't never say he
okay,
can't
if
pass.
you don't
He
pass,
don't
now that's a
pass.
different story. Now that's a
He
different
don't.
story.
Yeah.
That's
Go ahead. My fault. I just had to put that out.
right. That's a different story. But the fact that he can't pass, like that he's not physically good at making reads or whatever, that's just straight up false. I can get into all sorts of things. Why Greg Roman is absolutely terrible at calling passing plays, and why they had to bring in like 8 different passing game specialists to try and help salvage this passing game. Hollywood Brown didn't leave because Lamar was bad at passing. Hollywood Brown left because they were running the ball like what? Top 5 each year and on top 5 volume each year because they can't pass. That's why. In regards to why I don't think that Lamar is good here.
Hold on, Alex. Hold on,
Yep.
Alex. The reason why we give flack to people that say about Hollywood Brown leaving and not wanting to play with Lamar Jackson is because anywhere he goes, whether it's Baltimore or anywhere else, it's going to be on the predicate that they are going to run the ball with Lamar Jackson. And for those that say, oh, he's going to attract superstars, he's going to attract other stars that come to the team. Well, why ain't nobody going to Baltimore?
Exactly.
Blackberry.
Why is nobody gravitating to Baltimore now? You think because he come to Atlanta, they just gonna gravitate to him because he in Atlanta?
But Blackberry. This
We
is what I'm
already
saying.
got strip clubs. They got enough to come to Atlanta for already.
I get that, but here's what I'm trying to say. Hollywood Brown left, right? You know, because they
Side
had to
chick
run the
city.
ball. They had to run the ball. But what I'm saying is it's not necessarily because they can't pass the ball. It's because of Greg Roman why they can't pass the ball. So they had to run the ball because that's all Greg Roman can literally do.
I got a question for you. That ain't actually, that's kind of inaccurate, Alex. When he was with the Saints, they threw the ball a lot with Drew. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, but who's calling the plays?
Who's calling the plays?
Yes.
Greg Roman was actually calling plays when he was with Sean.
Greg Roman was calling the passing plays.
He was calling the plays. He was the offensive coordinator.
The passing play.
We don't know who it's called.
I
don't know about that. I think the final word was boy.
What was that?
Oh, okay, y'all remember Sean Payton was suspended for a year too. Who was calling the play then?
Drew had 5,000 yards, 5,000 yards passing.
He had a 5,000 yard passing season.
So
I'm letting you know that there's
you can't say that man can't call no passing play because that's all he did.
That's my point right there.
I'm telling you from what I've seen and also from multiple other Ravens fans that have seen it, he can't call passing plays. There's a big reason why.
But maybe it's because the quarterback.
I think he played to his advantage.
Because the quarterback is inaccurate at throwing the ball.
Inaccurate.
That ain't. Hey, Alex.
Oh my God.
That's not what Ravens fans are talking about up here, man. That's not what Ravens fans are talking about.
I'm just saying.
About him not passing the ball. What was that?
That's all I'm saying.
I live in the DMV too, but and they not sitting here saying that that Lamar can't make reads. Now, granted, is that why Lamar Jackson gets paid the big bucks? No, like that he's not top 10 as a pure passer, sure, but he's definitely not a bad passer, and he's not the reason why the passing game is bad. That's just the truth.
Coach, I think you might have gotten them mixed up because I'm looking up Greg Roman's coaching history. He never went under New Orleans.
That's what I'm saying. I never thought that he ever went to New Orleans. I thought he was with the 49ers.
Last couple of years, like he was
49ers,
offensive
okay.
coordinator. Then he was assistant head coach and tight ends coach in 2018. He was assistant and tight ends coach in 2017. Then he was in Buffalo. Then before that, he was
he
in San
wasn't
Fran.
in-
Then
he
before
wasn't
that,
in
he was in Stanford. Before that, he was in high school. Then before that, he was a Ravens offensive line assistant. Then before that, Houston, and then
So who was
Panthers
the
back when they were
coordinator in New Orleans
conception.
when Sean Payton was? Sean Payton
Pete
was-
Carmichael. Wait, Pete Carmichael. Oh wait, nah, this doesn't make sense. Okay, so Pete Carmichael, who is the offensive coordinator right now for the Saints, has been the offensive coordinator for 17 years. So there's no possible way that what's his name, Greg Roman was calling the plays with the Saints. That's just not possible because Pete Carmichael's been there for 17 years. Anyway, in regards to the actual like what Lamar can do, right? Lamar in an empty set, him passing is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm not even joking with you. He's actually a good quarterback that can go through his reads, that he's aggressive downfield, that actually has shown accuracy, that makes plays out the pocket, and also adds very, very much to your running game. The issue is that y'all ran him into the ground for no reason because y'all can't design passing plays. I can tell you from multiple other Ravens fans, and I can even bring up clips proving that he can't call passing plays for anything. There's a reason why the GM himself has brought in multiple other passing game specialists because he cannot design passing plays. I'm telling you that.
Even in empty set, that man throwing it to his first read. I've seen games where this man throwed it and he got 4 defenders on the receiver. And he didn't throw it to him, bro. I've seen plenty of games like that. He throw it to his first read. You never, the way you watch the back of his helmet, watch how that sticker go. You can tell how many reads he's going through. He ain't going more than 1 read. Maybe he'll do 2.
Okay.
But most of the time, he doing 1 read and go. Every time. Like I said, I don't care how many times you watch film, that man doing 1 read and he getting rid of the ball or he out the back door. You can watch any of his highlights. Any.
I don't watch highlights. I watch all 22.
I say highlights because a lot of folks don't like to break down all 22. But if you watch all 22, you see this man doing 1 read go, bro.
He's not doing 1 read. I'm telling you. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and clarify this because Blackberry brought up something that I misclarified on. I said multiple reads, and that's false. I meant to say full field reads. Desmond Ridder in college, when he was at Cincinnati, has shown the ability to make full field reads, although they didn't ask him to always make full field reads that much. Same thing goes for the Falcons. I'm pretty sure this was a coaching issue where if your first read is gone and you feel pressure, you run and then you make something outside the pocket, which is more often than not what he did. But he didn't necessarily make full field reads on non-play action passes. He can. I have full confidence that he can, and I'm pretty sure that the coaching staff does, at least now. But he wasn't asked to do that a lot. More often than not, it was either pre-snap information, and whatever you go on, you're going to read one side of the formation, or one side of the formation and make your reads based off of that. And if it's not there, then you either ground it or you go ahead and you escape the pocket. Again, he didn't even have to.
Who you talking about right now? You talking about Lamar or you talking about Ridder?
I'm talking about Ridder. And again, he didn't even have to pass the ball a lot. More often than not, right, he threw the ball, less than 30 times a game. Most of those were either play action passes, screens, or quick game. And when he did have to stretch the field, again, they weren't necessarily full field reads because they didn't ask him to do full field reads. With Lamar,
because we're a balanced offense. Arthur Smith run a balanced game.
Correct. And I agree.
He even said his first game, your boy Ridder came out anxious and tried to show off his arm. No, it wasn't the play call. He just tried to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I have something to say about that Saints game. About that Saints.
Let Jeremy get in here. Let Jeremy get in here. What's up, Jeremy?
All right.
Hey, I appreciate it. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got
I hear you, bro.
All right. So, first of all, I'm not no Lamar fanboy. Bring him back. The Vic. We're gonna power the stadium. We're gonna fill the stadium up. I'm not that guy. I'm just looking at it like this. I think some of us are scarred from Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn not developing the draft picks and not developing the young players
which caused us to fall apart. And the Julio contract, giving him money when he was already under contract, and paying the running back. That's what really destroyed the team.
Lord have mercy.
So, like I said, we should look at Lamar at least. And I'm looking at it like this. The team isn't as bad. We got a bunch of young guys, not no flashy guys. The team is young. The defense, I seen somebody put up, we lost 5 games where we only scored only gave up like 21 points.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at it like this. The NFC is weak. And if you put Lamar on the Falcons, we don't have a pass rush. We decent everywhere else. We just don't have a pass rush.
If you put Lamar on the Falcons, we will never have a pass rush.
That's true.
But see, this is what I'm saying. See, that's that. When are we gonna hold coaches and the GMs accountable for finding talent in the later rounds?
That's what we're doing now.
Teams are built in the later rounds. You finding undrafted guys, late round picks, not no first round picks every year. Or you just seen what the Chiefs did. They got rid of Tyreek Hill because what they did, they went and got more picks to keep building. You can do that after you pay them. If you did go and get him, and then if we're doing the right things, we're developing the young guys, finding other talent, making good financial decisions, you could still build a team.
How much?
Let me ask you a question, bro. What was our problem last year? What was our problem?
I would say quarterback play and no pass rush.
No depth. You know why we had a depth problem? Because we had no money.
Exactly.
You know why we had no money? Because we paid your boy Matt Ryan and Julio Jones all that money.
There you go.
So if we got $66 million free
right now,
and we pay Lamar Jackson all this guaranteed money, we ain't got no money to get no depth. Guess what we doing again? We penny pinching.
Yep.
We going back penny pinching, 1 year contracting everybody.
And not only that,
we get scraps. We get scraps like we did this year. We get scraps. And guess what Arthur Smith did with them scraps? They showed up. But we can't keep buying.
So how long?
Market, bro.
How long we gonna keep doing? How long we gonna keep doing this? How long we gonna? Because if we roll with Rudder and we have a similar season like we had the past 2 years, when and we sitting here 9-10, what we gonna do?
He's gonna force it. He's forced to make a move. Like, that's just.
Hold on.
I'm telling you.
Hold on.
If this the case, Stefano would not see the next best Falcons team.
Well, hold on. I'm willing to say that a 9-10 or a record of just 9 wins would probably win us the Falcons. We'll be in the playoffs anyway.
If Riddle would have came in early, we would have won 10 lamb game. Easy.
Actually, I wouldn't say that.
I don't know about that one now.
My whole point is, and look, like I said, I'm not all the way on Lamar. I'm talking. Also, I think we should think about moving up and getting. I say CJ Stroud. I don't know who y'all like or who, but I would say try to move up.
Him in the combine. He outshone.
Who?
Stetson Bennett outshine CJ Stroud.
Okay, you tripping. Okay, you tripping now. You tripping now.
Y'all must have watched the combine, bro.
I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna ignore that.
He did.
That ball was coming off Stetson Bennett hand at 59 miles per hour.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore that. But what y'all think about?
I'm respecting everybody. I'm respecting everybody's opinion. I've been quiet for a little bit, but you have to understand that the fan base isn't all our age.
True.
Okay. You have fans that are 80 years old, 70 years old that's been watching this team for 66 years. 66 years. And they might not have time to wait. They might be on ventilators. They might have one foot in the grave, and they want to win now. I understand. Blackberry said it earlier about the developmental and all of that, and I get that. You want to develop players, and that's why we all here, because we all have different opinions. But you have to respect the other fan base, and I'm not gonna call them goofy because they want to win now.
True.
I ain't doing that because I'm for my elders and I'm for my pups. I take care of the pack. Whether you young or you older than me, I'm gonna take care of the pack.
But
I
OG,
speak for the people. I speak for
OG,
the people that can't talk.
I think every team in
we
the
knew
NFL has
when
got
we
that same
got rid of
problem.
Matt
You know what I'm
Ryan.
saying? And listen, if Terry
No problem.
Fontenot wanted to get rid of Matt Ryan, well, what do? You take another girl to the dance. You take another girl to the dance. And he was supposed to do what he did because he turned heel. But I don't. You trust the heel in wrestling? Do you trust the heel in what he says?
If that heel is working for the organization, hell yeah.
I got
Well, that
just
K
two
Styles
more.
video that he dropped today, that he dropped a year ago, is valid.
Mm-hmm.
I got just two more things I want to say, and then one question I want y'all to answer.
Yeah.
How would y'all feel about them trading up to get a quarterback? And my last statement is this slow process that y'all talking about. Like I said, I get it, but Terry Fontenot will not be here to see the end of it.
Okay.
I disagree.
Hold on.
Hold on. Say, repeat your questions. Repeat them, please.
Well, the one question I had was, what y'all think about them moving up? How would y'all feel about that?
Let me tell you how I feel about that. You said move up to get a quarterback?
Yes, a quarterback. Yep.
Okay. Let me tell you how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
How many other positions are there on a football team?
22, and not including special teams.
21.
21, not including special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Is quarterback our most glaring issue?
No.
It's the most important. Is why it's such an issue. If you look at the Bengals,
I didn't ask you what was the most
not what he
important
asked.
position. I
I'm
asked
just
you
saying,
what
if
is
you
our
look
most glaring issue?
pass rush.
Pass rush. What have we done in the first round for the last how many years, Coach? How many years have we gone picking offensive players in the first round?
3 years.
Too damn long.
It's been a long time since we've went defense in the first round.
Well,
The last guy
was Pat McKinley.
No, it's
AJ Terrell.
It was AJ.
Well, we got AJ in the first round, but when was the last time we got pass rush outside of Pat McKinley?
It was
Beasley.
Was terrible. Was Vic Beasley? What did your star defensive player say in the media at the end of this past season?
Get me some
Same
damn
shit.
help.
Same shit.
Get me some damn help.
I don't even think that's what he said, but I get what you're saying.
No, but that's reading in between the lines.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Reading in between the lines, that's true.
This is the thing.
Help me.
Everybody wants offense because offense is fun. Offense sells tickets. Offense is flashy. Right. Offense puts the points on the board. So everybody wants offense. But we forget that old mantra. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships.
Right.
It ain't just
even just last year. The turning point was that fumble that Jalen Hurts had.
Mm-hmm.
A Jalen Hurts fumble.
Yep.
So listen. I don't blame, like Wolf said, I don't blame the fan base for wanting to win now. I don't blame y'all, but it has to make sense.
There we go.
Gotta be logic, man.
Yeah.
It has to make sense. Just like y'all, we tired of seeing this team. We tired of seeing this team lose. We tired of seeing. We want to be able to walk in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and we want to see a banner that don't just say NFC South champions.
Yeah.
We want to see National Football League champions. We want a banner hanging up in the rafters just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But if you don't go about this the right way as an organization, it's not going to happen.
It's just gonna crumble. That's all it's gonna happen.
I'm just saying.
But Barry, we gotta understand
This a thinking man's game, bro.
It is indeed.
It's a thinking man's game. When you step onto that field, you lace up and you strap up. It don't matter how big you are. It don't matter how fast you are. It don't matter how far you can throw a football. It don't matter. If you ain't thinking as a player, if you're not thinking correctly, you're gonna go out there and get yourself hurt, or you're gonna go out there and get somebody else hurt.
Seen too many times.
It's the same. It's even more important with the front office.
Yeah,
they gotta think this thing through so many different variables. It's so many different scenarios and variables they got to go through with game planning, personnel, coaching. This is what we gonna do in this situation.
Yeah.
This is what we need in that situation. This is the point. We're gonna get ready to close this thing out. This is the point that I want everybody to think about. The Lamar Jacksons, the Justin Fields, the Richardsons, running the ball sounds real good for a quarterback. It's fun. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. It gets you pumped up. I get it. But they can't run their whole career. Look at Cam Newton. Look at Robert Griffin III. Look at Michael Vick, who eventually figured it out, but he figured it out too late.
Randall Cunningham.
Look at
there's a lot of guys.
Yeah, look at Randall. It's a lot of guys, bro.
Josh Allen.
Wait, what?
And
that's a good one.
But Josh
can pass now.
The jury
He
still
can pass, but he runs.
Oh yeah,
first.
The jury is still out on Josh Allen. The jury's still out.
The
But
jury-
check this out.
I give him
Steve Young, when he got to the 49ers, that's when he figured it out. That's when he started winning championships. When he started learning how to rely on his arm and not his legs. If we paying money just so that fans, if we paying quarterbacks money just off the predicate that they can put asses in the seats, but they can't win, but we not worried about winning championships,
they're gonna come here and play us.
all we gonna do is end up being some broke asses that's looking up at in the Raptors with no banner hanging from it. That's what we gonna end up being. That's what we don't want to be no more. That's why this organization, that's why Arthur Blank has put the Terry Fontenot in place. He's put the Arthur Smith in place. He had Rich McKay already, who's now going to have a more active role in the development of the players, in the who he brings into this team. These guys are going to do this the right way now. No more spending buckets of money for this guy just because he can run fast. No more doing none of that stuff. No more drafting BPA, best player available. It's going to be best player available for the system, for the game plan. Tyler Algier is a 5th round pick, and he had 1,000 yards rushing last year and didn't even play in 2 games.
Yep.
Talk, man.
So when we talking about development and we talking about what we want to see on this team, you gotta trust the organization. You gotta trust the vision that the organization has for the team. I want Lamar Jackson to get paid. I just don't want us to be the ones that do it because it's stupid.
Facts. Thank you. Preach that.
I want them boys that's coming out in the draft. CJ Stroud, Young. I want them boys to get their opportunity. Just not here. This ain't the place.
Nope,
this ain't the place.
It ain't the time either.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna let everybody get a final takes, and we gonna go ahead and start closing this thing on out. Big Ant, get it to him.
Look, just like you just said, I don't want Lamar here. But that doesn't mean that I don't want him to get paid. I just don't want to hear. We have more glaring issues on defense, offensive line. I mean, secondary. We need a wide receiver too. I mean, the list goes on and on. Look, we have way more glaring issues than quarterback, and I'm just tired of talking about Lamar Jackson. To be honest, I'm tired of arguing with these fools on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, all that shit about being entertained. I want to look. I've been a fan since the 90s, bro. Of course, I want to win, but am I willing to sell my soul to the devil to get that win? Hell no. I'm willing to do it the right way. Build this team.
The devil gonna
the
come
right
collect.
way. As sooner we'd already know that. We done been there. We still paying. We gotta learn. Do shit the right way. Use our brain.
Denzel, you there?
Yeah.
Give your final takes, bro.
All right. Man, it's pretty simple, man. You build in, then out. In, then out. We ain't built in ever since Grady Jarrett the third himself. I don't know if he's a third, it just sound right. But
he ain't no damn third.
Grady Bartholomew the third.
That Jesse boy. You don't know? That Jesse boy.
Jesse Tucker?
Yeah, that Jesse boy.
You didn't know that? What?
You know that?
That's Jesse Tucker's son?
Yeah.
What happened with the last
Baby
name?
Hammer. That's Baby Hammer
right there, man.
Can't believe you didn't know that, bro.
They divorced?
Point is, that's his dad.
Finish, that hit Pappy. He the Pappy. Finish your soliloquy. Finish.
I'm young. You gotta forgive me. But yeah, man, in and out. God, dog, it's as simple as that. The last regime messed up. They messed up. You had one good season out of you know who, and he went to the XFL or whatever FL. But look, they messed up. Some coaches can't coach. Are they stuck with what they know? And what Coach Brotherhood knew was what he still knows to this day in Dallas. But you got 2 seasons, 2 drafts. No one can judge this present regime off of any draft just yet because the past 2 drafts, they rookies. They knew. You got to let them manifest. Nothing happens overnight. Manifestation. But they got it. It looked like right from right where we sitting at today. They got their drafts right. The only question marks is Jalen Mayfield and possibly that edge rusher that I can't think of pronunciation right now of his name. But yeah, other than that, you got your running back. You got your wide receiver. Come on now. Taquan Graham looking pretty good. Wait, Taquan Graham is with that regime? Yes.
Yeah.
From their draft.
No, Terry drafted him.
Yeah, Terry drafted Taquan. And I disliked Taquan at first. But he grew in these 2 years.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I also had an article where I said I would have taken Travion Nixon, but then,
Yeah, I would have took Nick. Yeah, I would have took him too.
Yeah, I would too.
Oh,
but, yeah. That's it, man. You gotta wait. Patience.
Yeah, patience, man. Go ahead, Noah.
So, Saturday evening, me, Alex, Trey, Rip Cliff, the whole team is going to have a similar show to what we did last year. It was kind of around this time period. I think we did it after the combine, but before the free agency period. And we just wanted to throw out 30 names. I put them on the whiteboard, and like we were going to have each of them come up with their reasonings as to why we could draft them. You know, talking nothing but good about these players. But at some point, we got to narrow it down. And so we got to cross someone off the board. And then we get down to the nitty-gritty of the conversation. They're like, all right, well, who would you rather prefer? So if you want to be involved in those conversations, you can tune in Saturday night. I can have those, you know, I can have the stream popped up for you. I think it's just going to be on my channel, though, so you'll have to go over there to see it because I want to try to get that more attention. But
go on and plug it,
here,
Noah. Plug it.
Yeah. Other thing is, I've been having some polls in my recent community tab, and I think D. Coma was telling me that they couldn't comment on them. I don't know what was going on with there. I've been trying to check into it. I don't know how to solve that. So go to like my recent live stream and kind of put your thoughts on there, because I'm going to have the rest of the polls up on the actual live stream before we start the show. So, and then the last thing I'll say is we got to balance out these extremes when it comes to what people immediately opinionate towards, right? So if we're saying that, hey, I think that we can roll with Witter and we can be fine, right? Then the extreme thought is that either, oh, he's the next Mahomes, or he's going to be the worst player ever. We got to balance that out. It's never as good as you think, but it's never as bad as you think either. All right? And if we're not pursuing him, it's like, oh, it's collusion. Oh, it's racism. It's this, right? But then if we were to get him, oh, well, he's going to be like the master of ticket sales and jersey sales, and we're going to have all this stuff. It's like, it's the extremes that get to me. I'm okay with the balancing of the opinions, but when we just go over the top just to be attention grabbing, that just infuriates people like me. So we just got to balance that out, people.
Big Will, take off.
What's going on?
Final thoughts, bro.
All right. I just want to ask the people why they think Ritter can't do it. Why y'all think Ritter can't do it? It takes a team to win a championship. Never have there been one player won a championship in the NFL. It's not the NBA. It takes a team to win a championship. Tampa Bay had a team. All they needed was a quarterback. They had everything else. It takes a team, bro. I want y'all to understand that. But if we saying bring Lamar in, we already done pulled up the stats that him and Mariota had the same numbers. Same number. Lamar Jackson was a little bit more electrifying. I give you that. He was electrifying when he ran the ball. But they had the same number. They don't want to throw the ball. They want to read and go. Desmond Ritter willing to throw the ball, man. He ain't scared of the competition. Give this man a chance. Put your trust in Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot. Man showed me they can do it so far. I'm trusting him. Let's ride, man. Let's ride. That's all I got to say, man. I'm tired of talking about these damn quarterbacks. I'm tired of talking about it.
Can't wait for we talk about these damn Nolan Smith.
We'll say that for next time. Can't give them everything. We got to
not,
have
not everything on this show. Yeah, we got to say some
got to tease them just a little bit.
Go ahead with it, Wolf. Let them know what it is, bro.
So I'm not as inclined to say that. I really don't. To me, I really don't do numbers. I'm more of a business side. I own my own business. I've owned my own business for 20 years. I've had my own rig. And in business, you have to listen to everything. Everything that's on the table in business. These are my stats right here. This is my accounts, what I spend, my fuel costs, everything. I do everything myself. Been doing it for 20 years. In business, you have to listen to everything. Even if it's bad for business, I still got to take the meeting. Godfather Part 1, Don Corleone and the Turk. The Turk was bad for business, but Don Corleone still sat down with him and gave him the respect to sit down with him. All I'm saying is, if I'm going off of what Terry is saying, then Terry is showing me everything and telling me nothing. He's showing me everything, but ain't telling me nothing. And that's okay, because that's what a heel is supposed to do. That's what a bad guy is supposed to do. So whether it's Ritter, cool. If it's Matt Ryan walking back in himself, cool. If it's Jimmy G, if it's Jacob Brissett, if it's whoever it is that's on that quarterback helm, the day that I die, I'm still going to have the Atlanta Falcon DNA. Shit ain't going to change. But some people want to win now, and you got to respect that opinion of some people wanting to win now. And I'm fine with that as well. But, you know, who the fuck am I? I'm a nobody.
That is not true, Wolf. You are somebody to me.
You are somebody.
I'm a nobody that's been running this business for 20 years and knows everything about business. And you got a guy that's telling me everything is on the table, and then 12 minutes later, something is off the table. That's I'm stupid.
But ain't that the good GM to keep everybody guessing?
It's been said on this channel. It's been said on this channel.
Everybody here is important to any organization that you guys cheer for. You guys are important. You guys are the fan base. You guys are the ones that carry that banner. So you're not going to tell me nothing? Brother.
Everybody can't be like my boy over in the Atlanta Braves.
Terry Fontenot. I hope you watching Terry Fontenot. You know what type of guy I am? I'm the type of guy that rooted for Scar when he killed Mufasa. He should have killed Simba and Nyla. That's the type of villain I am.
That man's wow.
Boy, Simba like that.
Wow.
I feel like you should have did a throat slash after that.
That boy Undertaker in the flesh.
To be fair, Disney has been really missing some villains.
That's the type of villain I am.
Hey, he need to be on the next Wakanda. The next Black Panther.
Go ahead with it, Drake. Get your last takes, bro.
All right. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this for the old Falcon fans and the young ones. It is no longer 2001. We need to move away from this nostalgia of Michael Vick, the mystique of Michael Vick. We have to move past. We got to move past that, man. There's not going to be a Vick Experience 2.0, and we shouldn't want it to be a Vick Experience 2.0, simply because it would do discredit to the Vick Experience. Simple as that. I think that we need to go back to the mantra like it was back in the 90s. We need to be the motherfucking bad guy. We need to be, I'm talking about as a fan base now. We need to be the bad guy, because it's already, if you pay attention to the media, if you pay attention to what these talking heads are talking about, everybody is upset that Lamar is not in Atlanta, which is why they're coming out with all these collusion type
and don't forget the diss track.
Yeah. That's why they're coming out with all this. That's why they're coming out with all these collusion accusations, because they want the NFL, the media, and the powers that be needed Lamar to be in Atlanta because it was going to bring them money. That shit ain't happening with Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith and Arthur Blank. They're not having it. They already went down this lane. We already know what the end of the road is going to look like. So why are we repeating history? Those who don't understand history are doomed to repeat it. And it goes the same thing with football, just like it goes the same thing for life. We need to move past this whole thing. We need to get behind our quarterback. We need to get behind our organization and actually trust the leaders that are actually in the organization, because it's clear that these leaders are actually better than the previous leaders. We see the changes. We see the differences. So again, like everybody else has said on here, I'm done with the Lamar Jackson talk. We should be past that. We need to go ahead. There you go. Go ahead and do it one more time, Wolf. Boom. Done. Done data. Right there. And that's all I got to say, man.
Coach gone.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, Coach gone.
All
Get your
right.
last takes, Alex.
All right. So this Lamar stuff should have been done like 3 months ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and say what I gotta say. Basically, first of all, I'm gonna go into what I think about Kaleb McGary and why, things of that nature. I think Kaleb McGary has always been a really good run blocking tackle, but has never really gotten to showcase it because we pass the ball so much. And as of recently, we've been able to run the ball really well, and his skill sets kind of shine. But the thing that's still been okay, and he's my second favorite Falcon on this team. He's just not that great in pass pro, and that's just the truth. And our team is at a point where teams are daring us to pass the ball, and we're kind of struggling in that. I love Kaleb McGary, but if he wants too much guaranteed money, he has to walk. I don't really care about the money per year. I care about the guaranteed money. Second thing, Lamar Jackson, as to why people think it's collusion or whatever, it's the guaranteed money. I guarantee you that's the only problem why people don't really want Lamar in that, in the draft capital. He wants, I think, nearly $200 million guaranteed. That's ridiculous. Nobody's doing that. That basically means that you get no out of that contract. Daniel Jones got paid $40 million, but only got 90 guaranteed, which means they get out in the second year of that 4-year contract, or correction, the third year of that 4-year contract. So it's not as bad as people make it seem. It's like third thing, in regards to Ritter is not bad at all. I can go on and on and on as to why Ritter is not bad, but I'm not going to do it. In regards to people wanting superstar talent, we really want to address that through the defense or address wide receiver, because that's also a problem since we're not really utilizing Kyle Pitts as much as I'd like to. And if it really gets to that point where we really need to make a move and Art's job is on the line, and you start having to make trades for guys that are actually young and have potential and are legit. With all that being said, because I wanted to wrap all of that in there, please tune in to the show that me and Noah are going to have, and Trey and Rip Cliff on Saturday. We're going to talk about a lot of draft prospects, a lot of this and that. Let me just say, I don't want to have this conversation anymore, because if I do, I promise you I'm going to get a heart attack. So yes. Thank you guys so much.
I will not mention Lamar's name ever again after today.
Please. For my sanity.
I think
Unless you're talking Kendrick.
Yes.
I think I need to eliminate the letters LAMAR out my vocabulary. I don't even want them letters in my alphabet no more.
Get out my head.
All right.
But when you guys go live again, I don't know when you guys go live. I know Noah's going live. Are you guys going to do like a free agency? What free agents are going to be available? Because I'm a little confused on that right now.
Well,
if my schedule allows, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably get into that next week, maybe on the Rex bit. But I know Coach does a lot of it. He does a lot of that anyway when he does his lives. So y'all just go to Coach Unchained, tune in to him, because he always doing free agency and
I know.
draft.
Yeah, I know he does, because I'm just a little confused about where we go from a free agency standpoint as far as defensive linemen. I would like to see them have the free agencies in place before they go to the draft, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Yeah. Everybody agrees with that, but
We
That's
But
the only
like I
way
said,
we'll be able
last
to know
year-
how the draft gonna go.
legal tampering is it starts
Yeah.
Monday. So
Next week.
Illegal is started.
But
Like I said,
listen, I respect, like I said, I respect all you guys' opinion. I think all you guys are great. You guys do an awesome job, everybody, man. I'm just a little hot-headed when it comes to stuff, and I apologize to everybody, and I apologize if Mike
It's
is
all
getting a
good.
lot of slack, because nobody wants to respond to Mike. None of the big content creators want to respond to Mike, and I feel like as though he wants people to respond to him. But I love what all you guys do. All you guys are great. All you guys have great opinions, and I'm trying to tell you guys, I learn from you guys more than I do ESPN, FS1, or any of the networks. I tell you that right now.
I appreciate that,
my
Wolf,
guy,
man. We
Wolf.
appreciate that.
Appreciate
And,
you, bro.
you a part of that formula too,
Yeah.
bro. So
Part of us too.
don't leave yourself out. Don't leave yourself
Now,
out.
I'm telling you, if sometimes when I listen to Noah and Alex, I gotta like get my calculator or something. I feel like I'm.
Yeah, because Noah and Alex, bro, they'll talk you out your drawers. Them some
Jesus, man.
them dudes right there know they shit, bro. I ain't finna get into no battle with them about
No,
facts.
I wasn't gonna do it.
I ain't finna battle them about no facts.
No.
I got trucker's memory anyway. I only got 12-hour memory. So
You
I ain't-
already
Man,
know.
don't
You already
do
know,
us like that, Blackberry.
and I told Will, you know, don't act like you don't know, Will. You don't even remember what the hell you ate yesterday. Will. Shut the hell up.
Alex and Noah, being young the way you guys are, keep doing your thing, man. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, keep representing the banner, because it's like Mike said the other day when he was talking to Alex. Hey, listen, man, you have to keep on pushing. You got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on pushing the brand. You have to.
But it is about that right there, because you know how to use it. It can be just as much as something that hurts you as it is something that helps you.
That's right.
Because it's a lot of people. It's a lot of ways for when we got to be able to listen to things and know when to pick battles. We got to know when to give our opinion, and we got to know when to let folks just have it.
Yep.
If more people took that advice, the world would probably be a better place. We'll be able to listen to one another, take each other's criticism, and be able to apply it to make ourselves better. But these days, hell, over time, people take criticism and they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So do whatever you got to do for your mental to be as strong as possible. This right here,
Yep.
this right here, can't nobody take that from you right there. That heart. Nobody take heart from you, bro.
Nope.
Your brain can leave you, but this right here with you until you go to glory. You got this forever. So just remember that. But it was something I wanted. My last take, man. I told folks I was gonna go over the last 10 teams that's been in the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna give you the last 15 that won the Super Bowl. All right.
Give it to us.
The Steelers in the 2008-2009 Steelers, the Saints, the Packers, the Giants, the Ravens, the Seahawks, Pats, Broncos, Pats, Eagles, Pats, Chiefs, Bucks, Rams, Chiefs. Y'all want to know what they got in common? All of them except the Saints. Let me circle them stinking ass some bitches. Everybody but them.
Lord have mercy.
Y'all want to know what they got in common?
Talk to us.
Talk to me.
Top 10 defenses.
Oh, I knew it. I should have guessed it right. I'm a smart motherfucker.
Blackberry, could I say one thing about the defense? One thing. The last Super Bowl winner, do you think that defense was overrated, though?
Chiefs?
No, not the Chiefs.
The Rams?
The Eagles.
Oh, the last Eagles
losers.
team?
The losers.
No,
do
they
you think
weren't.
that defense is overrated? I'm just asking a question.
No, they wasn't.
70 sacks ain't overrated.
They got overwhelmed.
Okay, so the MVP of that game should have been the offensive line of the Chiefs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Hands down. Because nobody thought that was happening.
You get no
Nobody
argument
thought that
from
was
me.
happening. Nobody
You get
could
no
have guessed
argument
that.
from me, bro.
Mic drop.
I will
Nobody
not
could have
argue
guessed that.
Chris Lindstrom. Some of you like Kaleb McGary. Some of you guys know more of the offensive line than I do. I'm not going to run down and say, but your offensive line is strong. You could do some damage. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
starting them trenches. It's starting them trenches, bro.
And out. In, then out.
It's starting them
In and out.
trenches.
You already
Starting them
got out with your running game, and you need to put another receiver.
Both sides of the ball.
And just to highlight one last thing about that list I just carried out.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Foles was the quarterback for the Eagles when they won.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out Dougie P.
In, then out.
That last Broncos championship.
Big forehead himself.
He had a broke down Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Amen.
Mm.
All right.
Don't worry, they had Brock Osweiler though.
And on that note, we're going to end the show.
Shout out my guy Jody Brave and Vlad. Appreciate y'all. I just wanted to
Y'all
shout
know
them
what
out
it is, man. Y'all know what it is with me. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this content out to all your social media platforms. Let the world know all about Blackberry Rex and the Rex Pit. Hey, this panel right here, I always got a real good panel. I always got the big dog, Big Ant by my side. I always got my brother that from the same mother, Denzel, a.k.a. Smiley, a.k.a. Do It, a.k.a. Bonkers. I always got him by my side. And when Wolf come in the building, you know it's a special night. And Big Will always coming through with the goods. And Noah, well, let's just put it this way. Don't leave him around your girlfriend, because when you get back to her, she ain't going to have no drawers on. Dre Harrison, we appreciate you coming through. And Alex, as always, bro, we appreciate you for coming through and exposing your knowledge to us, bro. We appreciate you. This has been the Rex Pit. Thank you for joining us. Catch us on the flip side. Home team.
Out of there.
Home team.